jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
First in the building. Big Buns and Box on deck. What's good? Sunday morning. You already know 13 days, man. 13 on deck and running. Hot grease on this good Sunday. All praise be to God. We got 13 days left. World-class boxing gym didn't look sharp last night. They better come correct on the 29th. Doubt was casted last night. Don Vine on deck. Salute WCS and the chat in the building. Juice Lee on deck this morning. Salute to you. I see you in the building, Juice Lee. What's good, everybody that's tuned in, about to tune in, and thinking about tuning in? Come on up, man. Hit the like button while you're on your way. We got some things to talk about. We just have to clear up just a little bit on what I observed and assessed. It may be different from, some other channels that you are also supporting. I just watched, and I'm just saying to myself, it's 13 days out, and somebody didn't look the way I thought they would. I say somebody didn't look the way I thought they would. I was thinking Frank Martin would come out there blazing, man, like it was the OK Corral. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a shootout. And this, I don't know this disconnection. I don't know if Derrick James and his fighters have a dial up or something, but they need to get on Wi-Fi quick. They need to get on the 5G goddamn network, because something just ain't right. But we're going to talk about the All Access, some things I've seen in there. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk about that because it's getting close. Bills boot camp in the building. Salute, fam. What's good with it? What's good? Thomas Henry on deck. I see you. Salute, my brother WCS. Salute to you, Thomas. You already know what it is. Just trying to let it fill up a little bit here and there. Because we got to get down to the core of what we're watching. That's both with the highlights, side interviews. We're going to put it together. We're going to tell a story. I want to hear your input as always. I just want to see if it's just me. Is it you? Or we both on the same sheet of music? Is it me or is it you? Do we have two different, visuals of what we was watching last night? Or was it just my imagination? because the older you get, sometimes, what you see changes a little bit and you start getting a little confused at some things, especially at 13 days out. We got 13 days. They say, what is called triskaidekaphobia. Frank Martin stepped in the ring yesterday against Artem Harutyunyan. Harutyunyan came in there 12-0, and Frank Martin was 17-0, if I'm correct. Frank Martin supposed to be the next best on the Man Down promotion. He's over there at the World Class Furniture Shop. I didn't know it was a furniture shop until they said it on All Access. I was actually paying attention. So kudos to Derrick James, kind of proving my point as to why things may be on track the way I think they are, because you know what happened to furniture. It's only a matter of time before it breaks. It's only a matter of time before it breaks. And I didn't know the World Class Gym used to be an old furniture shop. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. It's some things I've seen in All Access. We're going to talk about that after the Frank Martin fight. But Frank went in there with the guy, Armenian fighter, and he said he didn't see too much in him than Michelle Rivera. He said, per the eye test, Michelle Rivera looked better than Artem Harutyunyan. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to call him Artem because I don't want to goddamn bite my tongue and shit. Artem was an awkward Armenian fighter. Hold on for a second. He was a awkward Armenian fighter who really haven't had too many other, fights that we can compare to Frank Martin, but yet Frank Martin was working himself up the ladder too for competition. You know what I'm saying? So both of these fighters was in a position where the win, just moves them, up the ladder per se. None of them was pretty much on deck for a title shot, so to speak. Real talk, especially Harutyunyan, Armenian fighter, nationality, Germany, age 32, older fighter just like Martin. Martin is getting up there in age too. And his last opponent was 14-1-1. Frank Martin, last opponent, Michelle Rivera, 24-0, definitely with the eye test was much better when it comes to the resume. The etiquette of the resume. We'll say Jackson Marinez, of course, and Michelle Rivera. Both of those guys was much better to the paperwork than you're looking at when it comes to Artem's last opponent. But anyway, I don't know what was going on with Frank Martin. I know everybody was marveling his footwork on how he was able to move around against Michelle Rivera, but not so much with Harutyunyan. Harutyunyan had pretty good awkward footwork. He didn't look like a dancer to me, but he turned out to be. His footwork was pretty damn good, pretty consistent. Frank Martin, he showed that, he's a solid dude. Frank Martin, when it comes time, he can let his hands go. But he doesn't give me, truth be told, he doesn't give me that shock value when he opens up, because he will loop those punches. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying his appointment isn't there. His punches isn't landing where he's supposed to. It just, every time he opens up, it almost like last night, he had to be activated. It takes me back to when I was watching cartoons growing up, the Wonder Twins. And they say, Wonder Twins, activate. It's almost like for Martin to get, into a mode of intensity and aggressiveness, he had to be activated and get hit for him to turn up a little bit. And once he did, he was pretty accurate. But his spurt, you got to make those spurts worth something. And he doesn't come off to me as a fighter that has long spurts of punch output at one time. I don't know if it was the muscles. I don't know if it's the muscles or not. His build, the lactic acid. I don't know. But when he's on you, he's on you. You know, he can land the punches. But maybe he needs to just, you know, find out how to pace himself, create distance, go to the body a little bit more. You know, just pick and choose when to sit down on his punch. That's another thing with him, you know, with that build he has. He sits down on a lot of his punches. Like, if you don't have the pace to be a power puncher, then don't be a power puncher. You don't have to sit down on everything. I mean, soften them up, you know. Just get in a cadence. Get your cadence down there, Frank. And then you pop them in between with the cadence. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the endurance, so to speak, to keep up a high volume output, you know what I'm saying? You're not Arrow. But I know y'all want to go out there and impress. My biggest question to Frank Martin was, what did Derrick James tell you that you didn't like, or you refused to do with Artem? What was he telling you? What was his instructions? Because you struggled in the first of that fight. It wasn't like you were struggling hurt, but you were struggling to kind of find out what the hell was going on. Like, you walked in there in college and the whole time you was in the class, you say, something ain't right. I'm not supposed to be in this class. It's almost like you just couldn't get your mind together that you was behind in the fight. It wasn't a Terrence Crawford, oh, you behind on the scorecard, Sean Porter. No, you was really behind. You was really behind. And people was looking at this like, okay, now all of a sudden tonight, the unofficial scorecards really matter. They really matter. Because they're trying to find out, why aren't you lighting the stick of dynamite on this dude yet and keeping it lit? I was confused, man, as to what was going on in the corner. Derrick, every time in between rounds there, Frank, he's goddamn chewing you out, bro. Are you another fighter that really doesn't get along with Derrick James? Allegedly? I don't know. The reason why I'm asking that, Frank, is because I don't seen the Charlos do it. I've seen you do it. And I've seen Spence not listen. What's going on? Is there not enough furniture polish in the training regime? I'm curious to know what is going on, bro. Like, why isn't y'all, the matrimony, just a little bit more happier? You know, why aren't y'all listening to the coach? I hear in this all access all the time, I hear a word that I've never really heard of as much as I have as of recent. And that word is focus, focus, focus. I gotta stay focused. I gotta stay focused. I gotta stay focused. But you know, I'm like, are y'all niggas listening to Derrick James? Because the shit you was doing in there is like, that fighter wasn't supposed to be on your level, because for one, you say on paper he just don't fit the bill. But once he started letting his hands go and you found out he was an awkward ass striker, you had problems with it. You had problems. And I commend you for sticking in there and working through the rough spots. You know what I'm saying? You did work through the rough spots. But I don't get why you wasn't as fluid, or you wasn't consistent. You wasn't as focused as I thought you would be in a fight of this magnitude, because if you would have took this L, it would have set you back. And also, taking the win, you need to look good in the win. You know what I'm saying? Doing this win right here. And yeah, you end up having your moment, keeping that constant pressure on in the back end of the fight. But could you have earned a knee? Could you have made a fighter that's a higher level than Haratunian take a knee with the pace that you was at doing that fight? I don't think you was at a pace that if somebody else was in there, I think you would have got broken down before they would. You know what I'm saying? You made the guy genuflect. I get it. He was doing the Kaepernick. But I'm just curious within myself, like what's going on here? Why aren't y'all coming out there, owning up to all this hype that's supposed to be over there at world class? You know what I'm saying? Where's all the hype? Where's the performance value of all this shit? That's why I tell them individuals, them aerosexuals, y'all worrying about the wrong thing. Why don't, James fighters listen to him a lot better? Why should a coach be, berating you, asking you questions like, dude, do you know what the game plan is? Why you ain't listening to me? What's going on? Shout out to my guy, Mr. Gumbo in the building. Mr. Hot Grease, aka Mr. Sucker Free on deck. What's good with it, Gumbo? Gumbo say Frank Martin lost. Gumbo thought Frank Martin lost, bro. He thought Frank Martin lost. Well, Steve Weisfeld had the fight pretty close. What's going on, Tyrese? Tyrese on deck. What's good with it, brother? Salute WCS, my big bro, and the chat family. Salute to you. Juicy say Derrick James got too many horses in the stable, and Errol looked irritable. This weight cut taking him out before Bud gets a chance to. Oh man, you say he got too many goddamn horses in the stable. I hear you, brother. I see what you see. You know what I'm saying? I see it. It looks good for All Access, don't it, Juice? It's good having all them horses in the stable for All Access. Oh, look at that. He received an award. He has all these freaking horses in the stable. Anthony Joshua talking about some shit that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? As always. But he has all these big names in there. But boy, GSP, not impressed with your portfolio. Being the coach and his fighter not listening. You know what I'm saying? His fighter not coming out the blocks. Yeah, he had those moments where he was shining. And like I said before, maybe you should stop headhunting so much and just really focus on, how Alicia Baumgartner, how smooth she is. I'm not gonna lie, how smooth she was when she was attacking the body, how focused she was looking center. And it's almost like she saw what was coming, but when she actually let her hands go, it was so smooth and rhythmic, man. Like she would go to the body. If she stick you with the left hook to the body, she stick you up top with a left hook, or she'll come up with the left uppercut. But yet her space was always there. Frank Martin, you need to get that composure. You know what I'm saying? You really do, because when you start to let your hands go, you headhunt a lot. And God didn't bless you with that Tank power, bro. If you would have had Tank Davis in front of you, and you wanted to go up there and rush him like that, man, you would have been on the canvas, bro. You have to learn how to set your punches up. And being that you at the world class furniture shop, you need to work a little bit harder, man, or get another coach. Something. The tuna man was giving it to Frank. He gassed out after 9. Hey, Tyrese, man, we was up here. Look, we was up here, trying to understand, like, do they need Blu-ray Fitness back in there for the strength and conditioning? You know what I'm saying? Because if this is a preamble to what we're going to see in 13 days, somebody in trouble. I'm not saying Frank Martin is Errol Spence. In the military, they used to say, we look at the leadership. When somebody fuck up, we look at the leadership. First thing, when somebody fuck up, what unit you with? Who in charge of you? Okay. All right. And they get in contact with them. This is the leadership. The coach is the leadership. Seriously. The coach is the leadership. People, you can go back and watch the film yourself. Go back and watch Jermell Charlo fighting Austin Trout, and how Jermell Charlo was not listening. It's plenty of fights that even with Spence, man, they was doing what they wanted to do. Last night was nothing different. Frank Martin, he wasn't, what were you doing? What was the game plan for you and Derrick? What was the game plan? Did you have a year hiatus where you wasn't listening to your coach too? What did you have that same impression? You say, oh shit, I want to go over here. Oh my God. I want to go over here and be with Man Down Promotion, but goddamn it, I really don't want Derrick James as my coach. Were you that guy? Do you have a hiatus when you're not speaking to him like that? Y'all only speak, you know what I'm saying, talking about boxing and what he wants you to do, what he needs for you to remediate and all this shit. And then after that, you ain't talking to him. Is it like a line of communication that has a you know, a dead area, as they call it? I'm in a dead area. I don't know, man. Frank, you know, like, it's not like you can't box, but you became so predictable when you was putting your punches together. And like the only thing you got consistent is when you was rushing in with your head. You know what I'm saying? You was up there rushing in with your head, bro. And I don't know. I can't say you did that intentionally, but don't be the Sean Porter 2.0. You know, you do have a forehead right there, man. And you know, you was rushing in and that head was leading it. You know, the black Orlando Salido. I'm just saying I wasn't impressed with Frank Martin. I'm not, and I don't give him an F with that performance. I'm not his coach, but the dynamic of that team over there in Texas, I expected him to look better than he did with Michel Rivera. He did not look better than he did with Michel Rivera, but that's not to say that he's not ready for any one of them other fighters at 135 that he wanna fight. I wouldn't say no Gervonta Davis though. I wouldn't say no Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? All them other fighters, let's see what's popping. Let's see what they're talking about. You know, he said, y'all heard Spence after the Frank fight. Spence said, we've been working on keeping my chin down, my hands up, defensive responsibility. Arrow sound like he preparing to not get hit, not get knocked out. You know what happened when they prepare not to get knocked out? Most of the time, they look like Ugas. See, when you shell up, you start to swell up. Real talk. When you shell up, you start to swell up because a fighter may not see the punches coming like they would if they just, you know, sat there and try to slip, move, reset, pivot, and, you know, and so forth. When you shell up, you start to swell up, man. They punch around your guard. They punch up through the middle. They pop you with that jab to the body to get you to open up that guard. And then before you know it, bam, they done hit you up top. So it's good. If you want to swell up against somebody that's very punctual like Crawford, go right ahead. Yeah, you know what that is, that Gumbo. One of the twins activate, dog. WJ Luckett in the building. What's good with it, bro? Christopher White on deck. I see you. What's good with you? Salute to everyone that's in the building this Sunday. Knockdown 305. Salute at WCS in the chat. Yo, what it do? Yes, sir. What it do with it? Blunts, I don't care what EJ thinks he's trying to do. He finna attend a birthday party at his expense. I have another, you know, I get to that later, Juice. I have another invite that he's going to be a part of. Let me get to that later, though. Andrew Charles, what it do, Andrew? How you feeling, brother? Salute to you. Andrew on deck. Don Vaughn say maybe DJ lacks focus, workmanship. is a reflection of leadership. Hey, talk that shit, man. Because all I've been hearing Spence talk about is focus, focus, focus. But if your fighters are going in there and they're not focused on listening to what you're saying out the corner, then that's rejection right there. That's something more than focus. That's something more than focus. Real talk, because humanistically, if you with a team, you're gonna listen. You're trying to listen. You know what's going on. You already know the lineup. You know the format of everything. You know what team you're on. You know, I mean, you just know what it is, man. Especially in boxing, you know who your coach is. You know who the chief second. You know all of that. But we having too many situations where James fighters are going in there doing what the hell they want to do. And if that's the case come July 29th for 12 rounds, you want to wait till you get some rounds under your belt first before you say, okay, now I'm gonna listen to you. I try to do everything on my own. Now I'm gonna listen to you. You might not have that opportunity though. You might not have that opportunity, seriously. Andy Cruz took instructions well and carried them out. Yeah, Andy Cruz, man, he looked sharp, man. He had one of those fights where it was so much scrutiny placed on Andy because he was fighting a common opponent of Keyshawn Davis and a common opponent that had never been stopped. You know? And to mention, this man's first professional fight, you trying to tell me he did a 10-rounder? Did he make a statement? Huh? Did you miss me? In my Bernie voice. Hey, 10-rounder on your debut? 10-rounder, bro. At first, I thought he was a little gassed. His mouth was open a little bit in the second or third round, but he got his lungs together, and he looked sharp in there. I don't know. I don't think certain people are sleeping on Andy no more, man. Seriously, I don't think they sleeping on him, bro. I don't think they sleeping on him like that. And shout out to Bozy, man. You know, shout out to Bozy. He's over there being trained by Bozy Ennis, man. That's a good look. That's a good look. See, one thing I liked about what I was paying attention to is to see if how Andy's style was looking, vice what I seen him in the amateurs to now. To me, he didn't have an amateur style. I'm serious. To me, he didn't have an amateur style. He didn't go in there and just be welling away, you know, with that amateur type mentality. No. And also, you know, what Bozy and Jerron has together, I didn't see someone trying to teach Andy Cruz how to fight like Ennis. I saw Andy fighting like Andy, goddammit. And he was sharp. I ain't gonna lie, he was sharp. I'm waiting for the next, man. What y'all think? You know who I'm talking about, y'all. Y'all think you ready for the step up? He did a 10-rounder yesterday. Boxing fan talk on deck. What it do, man? Him and Spence looking at the monitor after the fight was hilarious. They ain't know what to think. Listen, I know fighters are gonna have situations, but like I said before, those situations, right? They have to be with an opponent that's supposed to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Like a ranked opponent that's, you know, let's just say is a title eliminator. A fight that's a title eliminator or a interim title shot or whatever. But people coming off your Jackson Martinez performance and then Michelle Rivera, people looking at you to go in here and treat this guy like he don't supposed to be on your level. Like you're 17-0, dog, and your opponent is 12-0. You fought better competition than Harachunian, but you went in there, and we had to wait for the cards to be read, and people wasn't sure. Even when they was on the YTC, they wasn't sure that Martin pulled it out. But look, Frank. Y'all gonna get enough for trying to get the knockdown or the knockout late. Y'all gonna get enough of that breaking down shit. See, it's all good. I know you gotta pace yourself. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite about it. But it just seems like you had so much energy to turn on, you know, after Derrick was chewing your ass out in the corner. Like, what is wait till the last moment? I need something to pep me up, and then now I want to turn it on, and people gonna be like, oh, I broke him down. But I can see you breaking them down early in the fight, and you get the knee, right? But it just seems like you was thinking in there, like, for the wrong reason. Like, you was trying to cogitate what you was supposed to be doing. I wouldn't say you wasn't enthusiastic, but I thought you was gonna turn on the gas, dog. You diesel up in that motherfucker, bro. I just thought early rounds you could make those adjustments. See, that's a criticism that comes from out there. Y'all making adjustments over there. Y'all know how to go one speed and one speed only. And people believe that one speed is gonna ultimately break. But goddamn furniture break too. And most of the time they get rid of it. People don't spend time goddamn fixing furniture unless it's something just simple. But y'all want to sit up here and say, well, you know, I'll just take my one dimension and then I'll make my changes, you know, along the way. And, you know, every time that Frank Martin opened up, you pretty much knew where the shots was going to be. He gave you the damn itinerary. You know where the shots was going to be. His itinerary is going to send them up top. Now be patient, man. Be patient. Go to land those body shots, man, to open up the top. Be patient. Break him down the right way. Not all them headshots bouncing off his gloves and all that, bro. That you can't do that with the Keyshawn's. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it, bro. I'm just saying you can't do that. Even with the Andy Cruz, you're not gonna be able to do that. All the head hunting and all that. You know, trying to get the knockout and all. Nah, come on, bro. If going the distance is who you are as a fighter, go the distance. But while you fighting, make sure your punch placement, and when you decide to deliver those power shots, do it in a way that your opponent is not predicting when you start to pick up the pace that you're gonna go nothing but up top, above the shoulders. That's all I want, above the shoulders. Pop, 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 pop. And a lot of those shots are bouncing off the gloves. You're gonna have to fix that, big dog. Frank headbutted his eye. Okay, I haven't even got to this. Ball Out mixtape. Fire. Salute to you. So Showbiz the adult, bro. And he good people, man. Real talk. Showbiz the adult, good people. But he was over there talking about Frank Martin took his first eye. Man, stop it. Stop it, man. What's up with all this eye taking, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's all respect, Showbiz, but he ever talking about Frank Martin took his first eye. He didn't take shit. What he did was almost take a shit. Because they was wondering, like, oh man, they're gonna give us that or not. Look, once again, we got the Sean Porter effect. You know, people wondering, you know, is that one knockdown enough? What would have happened if he didn't get the one knockdown? Who knows, man? But Ball Out mixtape fire, man. That was a solid point, though. You know, I mentioned earlier how Frank was leading with his head. He was putting those headbutts up there, man. No boy was looking at him like, dude, what are you doing? You trying to cut me? Nigga, like, you keep hitting me in the head with your gloves and ain't doing shit. Now you want to use your other limb? God damn. Hold on for a second, y'all. All right. So he said dirty tactic crazy. I agree, it wasn't dirty tactics. Also, him. I don't know. Like, I know Harachunian did land a low blow. You know what I'm saying? I think Frank Martin hit him on the belt line, and the ref didn't catch it. You know what I'm saying? Over there, Spence is known for them low blows sometime, and he just look at it like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad. So, if you're talking about the fight in 13 days, that's something I think about. A freaking low blow when shit get hot, or, a fighter getting cut, or to that nature. But anyway, I'm super petty. I'll be passing out pieces of birthday cake to Arrow whole clique after the beatdown sportsmanship. Man, you gotta show that hospitality, and you gotta show that professionalism. Even if professionalism means being petty, as long as you don't show it on your face with a smile. You say, hey, I just want to give this to you, on behalf of we truly appreciate taking this time. It was a moment that we'll never forget. For real. Just do it with a straight face. The guy Martin fought already knew he wasn't going to win. He could have. He just gassed out, man. You know what I'm saying? He gassed out. Seriously. He fought a damn good fight against an opponent like Martin. He's an awkward fighter. I'm not gonna lie. I was entertained by the fight and how awkward this guy was. Guys like him, that people don't know about too much, they come in there and show you what the sweet science is about. He had his own sweetness to the science. Andy on deck, I see you. What's good, WCS? Crawford gonna stop Spence. Yes, sir. That's what we're looking for. That's what we know there, Andy. You know what I'm saying? We're about to get to all access, bro. I'm not gonna give Frank Martin. He got enough of my time already. He got 30 minutes, and that's all you're supposed to get. Shout out to Shaw News and Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw. What's good with it? Team Tuck in the building. He did 10 rounds. That's still impressive. He Andy Cruz or you gotta be talking about Andy Cruz. Yeah, Andy Cruz shit was impressive. 10 rounds right out the gate. Yeah, 10 rounds right out the gate for sure. But yeah, I think you was talking about a comment I made earlier, because we know that Frank Martin had already did 12 rounds before. So let's talk about this thumbnail, man. I don't want a lot of people to get confused, right? So I want to listen to some of the audio from All Access. I don't know if y'all listen to All Access episode 2, but I couldn't wait till it came on, because I just wanted to see how much they picked up their training. You know what I'm saying? Their strength and conditioning training, or whatever the case. And I know people saying that it's hot over there in Texas, and I really haven't seen, whether it be Errol Spence or Derrick James, running outside once. I think Derrick James was running outside just for the damn camera crew, and then I think the same thing for Spence. They saying it's like 100 and something. Bro, we ran in hotter temperatures over in Iraq. Real talk. That shit was in the 120s. We ran in hotter temperatures than that. But I just saw indoor round robin type shit at All Access. One thing I did note before I get into this audio was that he had this guy specifically making him a custom mouthpiece. He wanted the shark teeth on it. And I said, oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. We've been waiting to see, what changes you was going to make. So what I'm thinking is that guy's going to make, as I see in the thumbnail, I decided to include Errol Spence, who's obviously been practicing looking for his mouthpiece, because that's why most of his pictures are looking at the ground. So I got some random civilians, to help him look for his mouthpiece. And then, not to mention, the guy that's doing the custom, he's put a freaking Neuralink GPS freaking locator in his mouthpiece, because something that touched me a little bit different was that when Errol Spence said that he didn't care about getting knocked out, he was worried about the way he looked, people. That's the mindset of Spence. I don't know if I ever would have heard Crawford say some shit like that, but Spence said, I didn't care about getting knocked out that time. My shit came out, and I wanted to go look, because, hey, you know how people be making all those memes about you. I didn't want to be the meme. This dude was worried about being a meme than the opponent that was in the ring. Bars. He was worrying about becoming a meme than your Dinas Ugas that was in the ring. This man was worried about being embarrassed, man. So he lost focus and started looking for his mouthpiece. When he found out his teeth hadn't been knocked out, because he had to glue his teeth, whatever, how many times he had to do it a day. He had to glue his teeth up there. He thought his teeth had came out. So I found it fitting to pretty much tell a story on protect your mouthpiece at all times. Real talk. You should, if you are Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? You should protect your mouthpiece at all times. All times. You should protect your mouthpiece at all times. And if you cannot protect it at all times, at least hire some people to help you look for it when Terrence Crawford knocked that shit out your mouth. All right? You should already have a reaction team ringside to help you find that motherfucker. Period. And the man that's gonna be in the ring with you on fight night, Terrence Crawford, I almost dare you to go look for that mouthpiece like you did Ugas. I'm just saying, go ahead and look for that mouthpiece. You know, leave it alone. He has a GPS on it. And the good thing I heard too in All Access is that he said that we got more than one. So y'all, whoever's sitting there ringside, when that mouthpiece come out, I'll pay top dollar for that mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what the mouthpiece. I'll pay top dollar for Errol Spence's mouthpiece once it goes into the 5th row. Okay? Top dollar, because they got 2 mouthpieces now. I don't plan the fight going past 6 rounds. I do plan on seeing the mouthpiece dislodged from Errol Spence's jaw. You know what I'm saying? And they pretty much activating the second mouthpiece prior to the fight being stopped. But I hope, you know, somebody in the chat was able to spend a nice little 15, 20 grand and, you know, sit on the floor and be able to retrieve that mouthpiece. Real talk. We need to get that over here in possession of the museum, the boxing museum, the WCS boxing museum. Real talk. So if y'all don't know, now you know. WCS is all about providing plans and shit. So that's why I implemented the GPS system with the mouthpiece. And, you know, I put Crawford up there because that's his next opponent, and it's going to be terrible. It's going to be extremely terrible. But peep this out, though. Let's get to this All Access, and it's going to be moments where I stop it so the music wouldn't be playing on my live stream. But I just want y'all to listen to how Errol Spence was still on his mind up to this point. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that's still on his mind that he won't let go. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence refused to let this shit go. That's how he is inside. He refused to let it go. All right.
And 30 knockouts, 22 knockouts. Who's the A side?
I'm the guy for sure. I'm the A side. It gotta be A side, and that's why we was going. That's why the business side was kind of, because with him, he just didn't want to believe that I'm the big dog. When we talk about ticket sales, talk about put butts in the seats, all that, and he didn't want to believe that. He was like, "Well, I did this. I won these belts. I did this." That's cool. We try to take that to the bank.
That conversation
So pretty much they start off who's the A side, and I like to crack the ice. You know, with the A side question, it's not that bad, man. It's not that bad of a question to crack the ice, but the response was a little bit cringeworthy to me because we're talking about the A side, and people, depending on what boxer it is, they have different criteria to make them the A side. It doesn't necessarily have to deal with the belts that you got. In order for Errol Spence to call himself the big dog, we look at your numbers and we're talking about you doing something that Tank was able to do. Tank was able to have a dance partner, Ryan Garcia. Tank already had the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Tank had the numbers and he brought Ryan Garcia and he did incredibly higher numbers. You really haven't been able to do that with the fighter that was in Ryan Garcia's position. You haven't been able to do that, Spence. You speak of it, but you haven't been able to accomplish it. Your biggest today was Mikey Garcia, and he had more to his career, more experience, and more accolades than you ever will. He was a 4-weight world champion, dog. Plus, he was doing something that scared the shit out of y'all over there in Texas. He moved up 2 weight divisions. So he brought, it was more boxing fans, Mexican boxing fans in that ring. So you can't sit up here and say you the big dog all because of what exactly? You being the champion that night? Is that what it was? You being the champion that night? Because prior to moving up the welterweight division, Mikey Garcia was a champion too. A world champion is a world champion. A world champion at a higher division of 147 doesn't devalue the champion that was at 135. The only devaluing that comes into the appraisal is who you fought to get that championship. You know what I'm saying? So Mikey Garcia was already established. And when you say that I was the big dog, Mikey Garcia was the big dog, period. You can look at it however you feel. Like Mikey Garcia was the big dog.
If me and him sit here like, I'm the big dog. I'm the big dog. Bitch, you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how that conversation go with y'all, but that's how it would go with me.
I feel like he's my dancing partner and I'm his dancing partner. Like,
That's hard,
you know what I'm saying? We meant for each
Yeah,
other.
I love that.
Okay, so Errol Spence say he my dancing partner, but y'all know WCS. WCS put it out there. I put it out there that Errol Spence should thank Terrence Crawford for coming to the welterweight division because Terrence Crawford ended up getting him in the position that he is now. Hey, you can be mad, you can feel some type of way about it, but dude, you know, that's my thought process, and that's what I mentioned. I know I didn't get that shit from nobody except myself. Errol Spence should thank Terrence Crawford for moving up to 147 when he did, because now you actually have a purpose for being in this position. Your purpose is your declaration to become welterweight undisputed. That was your declaration. Now, to conclude that declaration, you have one of the toughest fighters in front of you in Terrence Bud Crawford. You should thank that man for going up there and being your dance partner. Because you need Terrence more than Terrence needs you. Terrence not having you as a dance partner at 147, he still goes all the way after the party is over. He still gets his itinerary in the near future of being a first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires. You know what I'm saying? So you really should salute that man for coming up to the welterweight division and bringing life. He brought life to you. You was busy up here begging and pleading Keith Thurman, and nobody was like looking at that serious. Keith Thurman wasn't even looking at it serious. He didn't give you the time of day. But Terrence Crawford always gave you the time of day. He always put it out there that he was willing and able to fight you. You just chose to go a different route. See, WCS will let it be known on some boxing shit there, Errol, that the way you was pleading and begging with Keith Thurman, you wasn't doing all that pleading and begging with freaking Terrence Bud Crawford. That's a straight up FACTS, brother.
So we got to make it happen. This is one of these legendary fights. This is like Sugar Ray not fighting Tommy Hearns, correct? Or Tommy Hearns not fighting Marvin Hagler, you know? So it's something that basically for me, I feel like it had to happen.
Man, Can't wait to see it.
Man, I love it.
Hey, yo.
Now it's time to go talk to Bud.
I read somewhere in the rematch clause where he said he don't know if he'll take it if he lose or when he lose, as you might think. Do you believe him?
If I beat the will out of him, he probably won't take it.
Wow.
It's scary.
I mean, I hear that a lot, bro. I hear that a lot, Spence. And, you know, I understand, you know, judging off the way you look when I had that camera in your face over there in Beverly Hills, right? I know you knew who I am. I know you do, bro. You know, PBC knew I was. That's why they was trying their best to get me, you know, kicked out of there with that idiot that was up there running her mouth so damn much, trying to act like, you know, shit was on a personal level or something. The craziest shit ever. But you know, Errol, you know what is real and what you want to be real. What is real is that you've been in the ring with fighters that you felt that you didn't have to be 100% to go in there and apply the damage that you did. You made it perfectly clear to us, the fans. You made it perfectly clear, my brother. Perfectly clear. Absolutely. We soaked all that shit in. But when you continue to talk about this break, I've told it to my listeners over and over again. 5 years ago, and the reason why I'm using 5 years and using Lamont Peterson, because Lamont was 34 years of age. Therefore, when y'all hear listeners and all these aerosexuals speak about you breaking somebody, Lamont Peterson was still on his feet headed to the 8th round when the fight was stopped. But he was 34 years old, man. And you was this dude that was coming up that's supposed to be the boogeyman. But yet 5 years later in 2022, Yordenis Ugas is a dude who defected from Cuba 6 times and was captured. He went into the 10th round with you, bro. Ask anybody who they believe in comparison is the better fighter between Crawford, Ugas. They're going to say Bud all day. You ask them. It don't matter if it's in the morning. It doesn't matter if it's at church. If you're having a conversation while you're driving, happy hour. It doesn't matter when you ask. They're going to say, okay, Bud Crawford is better fighter than Ugas. He's a better fighter than Ugas. It's not going to be any hesitation, right? But I think I want to ask you this question there, Errol. Are you continuing to push that narrative that you want to break this man mentally, physically, and spiritually because you don't find it something that you're able to do, but it sounds good for promotion? Deep down in your heart of heart there, Errol, do you believe you can go out here and break Bud Crawford and break his will based off the performance that you've had with Danny Garcia and Yordenis Ugas off your accident? Not only that, but 5 years ago against Lamont Peterson, when I watched you land those body shots, you're supposed to be at your strongest. This is before anybody was saying you was in the street drinking and all that shit. I mean, I'm talking about you was him. You supposed to be him, the boogeyman. The amount of body shots and the punches free. I'm talking about beautiful punch placement, beautiful rhythm, and your punch combinations. Real talk. Lamont Peterson was still set to go out to the 8th round. So you breaking a fighter's will is the referee stopping it? Because look, let me turn you on to something that's not a secret. The way Terrence gets his TKO victories and the way you was getting yours are totally different. It's totally different. The only thing, if you want to look back in the past, that might add up is that Barry Hunter stopped the fight with Lamont Peterson and Kenny Porter stopped the fight with Sean Porter. Last time I checked, Avanesian was in the planking position.
How calm y'all talk about taking a man's soul. Like when I go to fight people, like I be loaded up, they gonna bite my lip, and you be like, yeah, I'ma just like take everything out of him when he don't even believe in himself no more.
Because it's his job.
Okay, let me find the next part.
Dangerous heat wave enveloping his home state of Texas. But halt training? No way. Because there's a bout he must win. At Spence's side is an absolute fixture, his trainer, Derrick James. Together for roughly a decade, they've married a cerebral approach with workouts designed for intensity. Winning big-time fights.
When you prepare someone for something of this magnitude.
Before DJ get to talking, I suggest you get a cup of coffee. Okay. The guy who's, the orator for this, he said they're married a cerebral approach. Married a cerebral. Cerebral to me is quite different than the way I see them fight. You know what I'm saying? Cerebral to me is how Bud goes out here and delegate his entire package when it comes to what weapons is he going to use. You know what I'm saying? Offense, defense, because defense can become offense. Defense is a part of everything just as well as offense. So when you're talking about cerebral, you're basically, it's all about how a fighter can delegate his punch authority towards his opponents without just being this offensive monster. You have to set your opponent up too. And you have to remember, you have to take less damage than your opponent so you won't wind up being in a situation where you're desperately trying to finish your opponent and you're jumping outside your game plan, heading into the rounds that mean the most. You know what I'm saying? It becomes like a smooth operator. When you're talking about cerebral, you have all these tools, man, at your disposal. And the way you're going out there using them, people still can't say, okay, here's the template to beat Bud Crawford. This is what we've seen in his fights. People really just don't give you that checkbox, that check in the box so quickly when you talk about him. All they do is want to talk about his switch hitter. That's it. Everything else they watch, it depends on who he was fighting.
If I miss something, that's something that I missed will come out in the fight, and that'll be something that Crawford can capitalize on. One more round, 3 minutes. I think the closer it gets to the fight, the more serious he becomes. I meditate because I'm practicing Buddhism.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about Buddhists, but maybe you need to practice a little bit harder, dog. Seriously, because you're too grumpy. So your meditation, I'm not down in that. Meditate however you want to meditate. But something you said about Spence, the closer you get to the fight, serious. I don't know. I don't get that mentality from Bud. I think he's serious time he gets into this shit. I think he's serious knowing that he's a professional fighter. That's why he don't do the things to hinder him or slow him down in the sport. That's just me, man. He gives me that impression that he always, serious about the game. And he doesn't really want to ever put himself in a predicament where he's forced to fight at a lower level than he would if he was 100% healthy, if you know what I mean.
Meditation is that I am everything that he needs me to be.
He's been there since day one. I got to where I'm at because of his vision. It was not only my hard work and determination, but it was his hard work and determination.
Cap. I don't know if I can believe that soberly. I don't know if I can believe that, people, soberly. I think it's been a cleanup campaign, man. It's been a PR image changeover. You know what I'm saying? An image changeover leading up to this fight. First it was on the rocks with AO. You know what I'm saying? On the rocks with AO, when he came clean and admitted to a lot of stuff that we've been talking about anyway, right? That these aerosexuals getting so angry and bitter about. And the whole time when it came to his image, they've been attempting to basically sanitize the fuck out of it. Now, hearing him talk that way about Derrick James, it only leads me to he's using part of that to bring more people. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing more people to try to tune in and watch his fight and make it seem like he's on the right track. You have nothing to worry about. Pay the $84.99 for the pay-per-view. I'm sober. I'm not in the streets for this. You good. It's gonna be my best performance ever. Maybe so. Maybe he is out the streets. Maybe he hasn't drink this fight camp. But Derrick James say the closer to the fight, the more focused you become. And that to me is, I don't know what's keeping you from being focused, period. Because you're going in there one of the toughest fighters you ever fought in your career, dog. Why take you closer to the fight? Don't you know who you fighting, bro?
5 years ago, James converted a defunct furniture warehouse
into his
baby, the world-class boxing gym. The vibe, make do with what you have. And the world-class part, just look around at so many champions, all grown and polished right here.
With what Derrick does here, it's not only the physical, it's the fundamentals. And also, bro, this here gets pushed. So I think that's why I see, like, if you look at Errol, you can push. So can Crawford, but I'm rooting for Errol. I'm rooting for Errol in this fight, but good luck to both men.
The list of stars seeking guidance from James now features Anthony Joshua, Jermell Charlo, Ryan Garcia, and up-and-comer Frank Martin. Boxing may be an individual sport, but this stable forms a strong team.
I feel like Derek's like a Popovich, you know. I'm like a Tim Duncan. You got Anthony Joshua, you like a David Robinson. The whole lineup. You got Ryan Garcia, you like a Manu Ginobili. You know, you got Frank, you like a Tony Parker.
It ain't all bad, but if it bleeds, it leads.
For a second, y'all. I gotta move the needle a little bit.
Last month, James left camp to receive the Boxing Writers Association of America's Trainer of the Year Award.
Congratulations to 2022 winner, Derrick James.
I'm very thankful to be in this space and time with so many great people in the sport of boxing. Thank you all. Appreciate that. Great night. Good night.
The recognition was meaningful, in no small part because it gave his early detractors something to consider.
Everybody in this space has been doubted before. People not believing in you, constantly just like being challenged or dismissed. People are like, you're not a good trainer, you should stop. If you think about.
No, I'm not gonna keep it on Derrick James too much because it's not about him. But he did receive an award. But like I said before, you're in a situation like right now, where your stable can either go to the pantheon of boxing and you'll be right back in that position again to receive another award? Or you're going to go on the do not contact list? Because there's a lot that's going on, that's coming up on the horizon, that you're going to have to perform to the best. Like, you're going to have to perform the best behind closed door, and that's going to have to reciprocate itself from your fighters in the ring. Frank Martin last night, he didn't give us that reciprocation. Whatever you was teaching didn't resonate out to the ring as far as being on the level you're supposed to be on and how smooth your fight is supposed to look. He just didn't give us that. But more so, July 29th in 13 days, a lot is going to be a lot is going to be played out in Vegas, big dog. A lot is going to be played out in Vegas, and people are going to be trying to figure out if you truly is him, that coach that your fighters listen to, and you come up with these damn very educated game plans. You supposed to be this coach who can raise fighters up to the level that you've been able to do. You know what I'm saying? Are you really that coach, or is your fighters really that athletic? Are you the lucky one to have fighters that was in Texas that wanted to fuck with you? You know what I'm saying? Because I think at one point in time he had both Charlos, and then the other one went over there to run his shields. So that's what we're gonna find out, because this is gonna be some tough fights coming up. You know what I'm saying? July 29th, the one that was at one point in time the most popular. A lot of people are gonna be looking at you, man. They're gonna be paying attention to see if Spence is listening to you, and I'll say they're gonna damn sure be paying attention as to what the fight plan is. Once the bell ring, you know, with this breaking somebody up, because breaking somebody up, in my opinion, really doesn't require a fight plan except to go straight forward. Hold on for a second. Let me get past Derrick James right quick. Hold on.
So that's really what it is the athleticism. He's a great threat, but you can't judge the depth of his desire until you get in the ring, right? Because it's like, Errol's just hitting you and breaking your ribs and breaking your orbital bone, and you keep fighting and breaking your nose. You can't see that from his record. But on paper, he is the most accomplished fighter in boxing. But I think that it comes to a point when somebody's breaking you, how much do you really want it? And that's what was.
You know, hearing Derrick, hearing you talk about that, it's one thing you're leaving out. And let WCS put you in the classroom right quick, that Derrick. As you being a boxing coach, you know damn well that when it's a fight, there's going to be two people fighting. But yet I keep hearing this one-way traffic that he's breaking people up. How's Terrence Crawford going to handle Errol Spence? Pressure and him up here breaking orbital bones and ribs and all that. But my question is to you, being that that's your profession and not mine there, Derrick, why aren't you speaking about can Errol Spence handle when Bud Crawford start to break him up? What is the game plan going to be when Errol starts to get broke the fuck up? You all talk one-way traffic like fighters ain't fighting back. What happens when Bud begins to break Errol up? Somebody already did. He ain't invincible, dog. His eye already was a problem. You're talking about the guy who fights at a lower weight class. You should have the common courtesy to bring that up in All Access. Like, yeah, we're preparing to improve our defense too, because, you know, if we're going to do the breaking, we don't want to become the breakee. We don't want to become the victim, because we know Terrence is going to be returning fire And it's a great possibility that he may break us up like we trying to break him up. All I'm hearing is Errol talk about breaking Bud up. You talking about breaking him up. What is he gonna do? No, what is your fighter gonna do? What is your fighter gonna do? You can't put goddamn medical tape on that eye. You can't go over there and put medical tape on that body. What are y'all gonna do is a question.
She won't be dancing on the 29th. Don't wear your dancing shoes, mama.
So Derrick James was talking about Crawford's mother. You know, they showed the clip of her dancing in the ring when he won. And he said, don't wear your dancing shoes, woman. And you have to ask yourself, I mean, what is the purpose of all that though? You know what I'm saying? Why bring his mom into it? I know it wasn't anything malicious, but he said, don't bring your dancing shoes, woman. So, you know, you got to look at it like, Derrick James, there's certain boundaries that you should just stay away from. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already done sit up there and cross paths before, and you felt that Terrence Crawford was treating you like a punk. It's certain boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You should understand how to protect those boundaries, and also don't cross those boundaries if you think it's going to bring more conflict to you. And I get it, bro. Like, I get it that you're promoting. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But you're talking about, you know, don't bring your dancing shoes, woman. In my Southern raising, you know, my Southern history, that's just a little bit disrespectful, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just disrespectful there, Derrick. I'm serious, bro. Like, you keep it on boxing. You keep it on boxing. All Access is gonna put out what they put out. You were the one who was speaking, right? You were the one who was speaking. They was filming you. You was on the front end of the lens. When you seen that particular fight come up, and you seen his mother dancing, all you had to do is say, yeah, it's gonna be a moment I can't wait for. We have this amount of days remaining, and we look forward to going in there, shocking seeing Crawford, or taking the last belt that we need in our collection. But he said, don't bring your dancing shoes. You know, you won't be dancing, woman. You know, me calling somebody else mother a woman, even though she is out of bounds when it comes to the common courtesy. You know, when you walk up to Crawford's mother, you're gonna call her whatever her last name is, Miss Crawford, or whatever. You're gonna have some respect. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if y'all have that rapport, you might call her by her first name. But I seriously doubt y'all have that rapport. But when you say don't bring your dancing shoes, woman, I just felt that was disrespectful, bro. Y'all disrespectful as shit over there, dog. Don't worry about what I'm saying over here on the YTC. Y'all worried about people, you know, talking about families and shit like that. Bro, when you call a woman that title is outside of her name, it lacks respect, bro. It lacks courtesy, Derrick. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. I'm not gonna put too much time on his mom. It just came across, you know, doing All Access EP2, and I just felt it was unnecessary for, you know, don't bring your dancing shoes, woman. I'm like, nigga, you being real disrespectful. Like, y'all already talking about you gonna break this man up and all this shit. You're gonna have to own up to that. You're gonna have to own up to it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna break a man 3 different ways. You're gonna have to own up to that. But nobody's talked about kids. When you heard Crawford talk about Errol Spence, he said, this is how we feed our family. When he was in the barbershop and they said, oh man, them tickets higher than a mother. He said, well, y'all buy other things that's miscellaneous, so support it. You know what I'm saying? This is how we feed. Me and Errol feeds his family. But you never heard Bud Crawford mention Errol Spence's mother and father, right? And me and you the same damn age group. Me and you the same damn age group. And you say, don't bring your dancing shoes, woman. Like, nigga, where was you raised at? Like, real talk, Derrick. Well, where were you raised at? Why you are who you are, man? You know what I'm saying? The things you say, it seems like you don't think, you don't process it. You know, you want to say controversial things out there. Like you have this mentality. Like when Crawford passed you up, you said, oh, you think I'm a punk? No, people don't think you're a punk. You just act like one, bro.
You will not be dancing.
Are your old hair clippers cutting it? Do you need...
Gotta keep them legs in shape.
This is great because we hold each other accountable. Like today, I'm like, man, nah, but he like, man, come on. I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, and those are the moments that is defining in a fight, where those last rounds that your body is telling you no, but your mind is like, let's go. So it all works out.
You ready? I'm a nose.
The roots of Crawford's and Bomac's bromance formed a generation ago, when Bomac and Bud's father fought for the same club boxing team.
I actually met Bud the first time he was still in his mama's womb, pretty much. I believe it's in his blood, you know, because his grandfather boxed, his dad boxed. You know, we all actually lived in the same neighborhood. I say a block from each other.
Perhaps it was fate. Two men capable of greatness, each in need of the other, just happened to be from the same place.
Forever. All right, let's go. And I still get that little kid feeling like I gotta push harder because my dad said go. I train too hard to think about losing. Do it cross my mind? Yeah, it always crosses my mind. What if? But my mind is so strong that it kicks those negative thoughts out.
Hey, Bud say I trained too hard to think about losing. He said I trained too hard to think about losing, nigga. What's your motherfucking thought process? I trained too hard to think about losing. It ain't an aerosexual that can bring you a quote that Spencer said that's more profound than that. I trained too hard to think about losing. So he pretty much mentioned that. Well, is it out there? Has I thought about losing? Yeah, but all those negative thoughts are pushed out. I trained too hard to think about losing. Let me get to the chat right quick. At first, I thought it was Gummy Nerd. Treetop Boxing was good. Drop Spence in the hot grease, AK Fish Fry. Yes, sir. Carlos Rosado, can't wait to see Derrick yelling at Spence like that versus Bud. He was hot with Frank last night. His opponent came to fight. Fish Fry, July 29th. Indeed, man. You know what I'm saying? We ready. Eric was forced to fight because Dallas was turning on him and starting to say he was scared. He cares too much about the opinions of others, and it led him down the road of systematic ass whooping. Tyrese said EJ said eggs. EJ said eggs father. EJ said eggs father. I was like, did he intend to say X Factor? That boy's speech is slurred badly. Goddamn, Tyrese paying attention to mannerisms and behavior, goddamn it. Because what you just said, there's a lot that's going on over there in Texas when it comes to them sounding, you know, something ain't right. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Drop Spence in the hot grease, AK Fish Fry, man. He said retrieve the mouthpiece donation. Appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Drop Spence in the hot grease, AK Fish Fry, $10 super chat on deck. One love to you, brother. Thanks for supporting the channel as always, man. Don't forget the sub, man. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you. Salute. It's much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. And for others who hasn't donated, it's welcome. Okay? Thank you. Don Vaughn say, how is Errol going to break a man's will when he's looking for his teeth? Focus is a part of will, goddammit. Talk to him, Don. Focus is a part. Damn. Focus is a part of will, dog. You ain't lying. Is it? Switch it up. Switch it sports. Salute to you, man. And make sure if you're new to the channel, man, hit the sub for me. I appreciate you. Drop Spence in the hot grease, AK Fish from my OG brother. Hey, shout out to Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more, man. On deck, the OG in the building, man. Spence, I thought Yellow Beezy was dancing partner. Pause. Man, this is bigger than Beezy now. This is way back. This is way back. It's on Spence now. It ain't on Beezy. Beezy said it was on him. You know what I'm saying? He said it was on him. Now it's on Spence. He got to take this. He got to take this solo dolo. What kind of fish y'all want? I got tilapia, flounder, whiting, trout, bass. I even found Nemo to throw him in the grass. 13 days to throw him in the grease, rather. 13 days away from history. Definitely take that trout. You know what I'm saying? The whiting. I'm from the South, so you know we love whiting. That cheap fish right there. We love getting some whiting, boy. God damn. And flounder, I'll take that flounder. I'll leave tilapia alone. But flounder, whiting, trout, and even some bass. But we talking about fried flounder, whiting, trout. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good right there, man. I may have to take a pause off this damn live and go get me some fish, dog. I'm getting hungry in this motherfucker, dog. For real. Straight on loose. Hey, shout out True Me Today, USA Boxing Coach Malachi in the building. What's good with it, big dog? Shout out to Florida on deck. Shout out to Carlos Rosado with the $2 super chat in the building for the Spence new teeth fund. Damn, he spelled teeth like teethus. You know what I'm saying? He spelled teeth with an F. How dare you talk that ebonics? You know what I'm saying? That ebonics slang, teethus. He said for the Spence new teeth fund. Well, if anybody's looking at the thumbnail, I try my due diligence to send a message. You know what I'm saying? The other people have volunteered, just like the chat had volunteered for the Errol Sexual Relief Fund. Other people, as you see in the chat, was volunteered to look for Errol Spence's mouthpiece, and they're practicing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, y'all get the picture. Yeah, they all practicing, except the guy over there with the tie. He just didn't want to participate. And you know what I was trying to send. But yeah, I did it a little bit different. I put that GPS, that Neuralink GPS on there, man. It should be good to go. You know what I'm saying? I see there's a stray on deck. Appreciate having you over here on this Sunday. Hopefully you went to church first, because you're talking some bullshit right now. You're talking some bullshit. And don't nobody time that stray out, man. Let him eat. Let him eat, goddamn. I ain't wasting that molded bread for nothing. Let him eat. Rebel on deck, what's good? Carlos say, you had me crying watching videos of dudes calling in, threatening you. cracking up and getting them more. Yeah, that shit was hilarious, man. That shit actually goes down like that on here. You know what I'm saying? Shot News, 13 days of jig is up. July 29th, undisputed. You know what I'm saying? I know. I got it. Don't worry. No, hey, wrenches, just chill. Just chill. I took care of that. That Stray was talking a little bit too much off topic. He wasn't on boxing. See, I let a Stray walk around for a minute. But you come in here trying to be a distraction to what's going on to the live stream. I got to get you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Talking all that nonsense. Nah. Sent him about his way. Sent you about your way, big dog. You gone. You gone. I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to get your comments up out of here too. That's how you police the area. That's how I become a janitor in 1 minute or less. DJ said, shout out to Tough Glove Boxing, man. DJ said he asked Buddha to help him be everything EJ needs him to be on the 29th. Buddha is going to make him an Olympic towel thrower. Damn, man. Y'all coming with the motherfucking God damn. I don't know what type of weapons this is. This is chemical warfare we talking about. People are coming with some whole different type of weaponry for this fight July 29th. For real. Now, Derrick James put it out there. So all you that's into Buddhism, don't come for WCS. I'm just reading what is in the chat. You know what I'm saying? He said, DJ said he's asking Buddha to help him be everything EJ needs. What religion is EJ? Somebody, I don't know. Has he ever mentioned religion? He might have mentioned God, but he said an Olympic towel thrower, y'all. I like that. I like that. Olympic towel thrower. To put that status on Derrick James to now add an addition to his skill set as a coach. Now he's an Olympic level tower thrower. I like that. I would definitely use that in the future. For Derrick James, speaking on Mrs. Crawford, check your IG. I did. I just did it. I seen it come by. I did. I was just trying to get through this. Yeah, I checked it. I appreciate you, Blunts. I see you caught it. No, before I even checked the IG, I was about to get into that because that's where I was on the video. When him, talking and having that little piece, that's where I was on the video. I didn't see it till after I pretty much spoke on, what I seen on All Access EP2. But yeah, I got it. I appreciate you, big dog. Sound like he had mama, not woman. It sounded like he said woman. I think he said both. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I think he said mama and woman. Hey, believe me, I'm not here to goddamn go back and check. It ain't like it's life or death. DJ is out of pocket for referring to Miss Crawford as a woman, like she is subordinate. You know what? Let's verify this because verification is everything, okay?
What you playing?
How much do you really want it? And that's what we'll see. And she won't be dancing on the 29th. Don't wear your dancing shoes, mama. You will not be dancing.
It's inspiring to me.
So WCS stand corrected. He said mama. Okay. I had to grab a Q-tip and clean my ears out. He did say mama. But even if he said mama, right? it doesn't mean you have to bring her into the equation about bringing her dancing shoes. You're still talking about something outside the scope of boxing when you talk about your fighter and his fighter. I stand corrected. AMP was absolutely correct.
Because my dad is always that eye, like, all right, let's go. And I still get that little kid feeling like.
Come on. I bet you want to dance on Earl like that.
That's like your thing.
Have you seen Evander Holyfield?
Bud's buds have been with him forever.
From each other.
Business partner and salvation.
Good morning, everybody. Mountain run today. Gotta keep them legs in shape.
It's great because we hold each other accountable. Like today, I'm like, man, but he like, man, come on. I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, and those are the moments that is defining in a fight, where those last rounds that your body is telling you no, but your mind is like, let's go. So it all works out.
You ready? I'm a nose.
The roots of Crawford's and Bomac's bromance formed a generation ago, when Bomac and Bud's father fought for the same club boxing team.
I actually met Bud the first time he was still in his mama's womb, pretty much. I believe it's in his blood, you know, because his grandfather boxed, his dad boxed. You know, we all actually lived in the same neighborhood. I say a block from each other.
You heard that Bomac said he knew him when he was in his womb, his mama's womb, right? But then you hear the lack of respect, the disrespect rather, that comes out when people talk about Bomac and Crawford. I mean, damn. You know, Bomac know them when he was in the womb, and then Bernie said he knew him when he was 7 years old. You know, you got a lot of people, and then Soko and some of them cats over there, they known Bud since he was way back then. I mean, that's a long time to be knowing cats, right? So if you cannot bring, you know how they always talk about when it comes to black people, how you should have brought this person up, you should have brought that person up, but yet you have somebody that has did that. Like he not only did it, but they used to box in the same sport he's now in as a profession. So he brought the ones he knew way back when up to the point to where he's the championship level. That's special, man. That's extremely special. You know what I'm saying? That should be saluted, applauded, because people always tell and they'll say things like black people don't bring each other up. And then if they do bring somebody up, the one that they bring up don't appreciate the travels. You know what I'm saying? They don't appreciate being a part of the journey. You know, they always have that type of criticism when it comes to our people. But in this particular case, you know, Bomac knowing Crawford as long as he has, man, that's crazy, dog. I mean, I didn't know that. Real talk. I didn't know that. I didn't know he knew Crawford as long as he did. I hear Bernie talk about how long he knew Crawford. I was like, damn, you knew him when he was that young. But yet when it comes to social media, it's the layer of respect is like a demarcation line. You can't even see it. You know, they just treat it like it's another boxing team out here, and they just gonna talk about a fighter that's not their favorite fighter. When in fact they've been together for quite some time. They've been a mobile team. They've been a family for quite some time, man. That's crazy. That's a long time. Let me get to this chat right quick. But yeah, AMP was right, man. I don't have no problem with stand corrected, man. As we said in the military, as you were, he said mama. So as you were, he said mama. But she had nothing to do with it. Even though she was on the video, that didn't mean he had to comment on it. Still, they're gonna take it the same way, like, oh, mama, don't bring your dancing shoes. Hey, what does she got to do with the sport? You know what I'm saying? You need to focus on Spence Crawford, Bomac, and everybody else. I mean, that's it. Not family, bro. Juice Lee on deck with a $5 super chat in the building. After asteroid fried fish hits on the 29th, it's finna be a lot of refugees. Just disrespectful. Out here, y'all. Thoughts and prayers. God damn. Aerosexuals, do you hear that? And look, I am not influencing these listeners to speak in the way that they are. Even though me as a the host, in no way, shape, or form did I hold up signs and say, hey, come up with your best comment and you will be rewarded a front seat ticket to the Errol Spence retirement party. I didn't say it, but he said y'all gonna be refugees out there. Damn, y'all gonna be refugees, man. That means y'all not even gonna have a place to go. That's just disrespectful, man. Seriously. Just $5 super chat. That's a $5 disrespect. If I ain't never seen it there, Juice. It's Sunday, dog. It's Sunday, man. Come on, have some dignity, bro. Damn. L Dog on deck. What's good? EJ a fool saying Queen Cat Ryan is Money Ginobili. Listen. I haven't got to it. I was trying to keep it strictly boxing because I don't cross thread sports there, L Dog. But you are absolutely, unequivocally correct. I had to say to myself, I started counting on my hand there, L Dog. I say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know Money Ginobili has 4 rings, and then he said, "Who was Popovich? Who again? Who did you say that was Popovich again?" So I had to say to myself, man, is it a team on site out there to collect urine and blood samples? Is it? I had to call around and try to find out, is it somehow, some way we can make contact? Because Spence is obviously, he must have tripped and fell due to the sweat that was on the floor from that goddamn heat wave going over there. Manu Ginobili is Ryan Garcia, a person who has won the interim WBC title. You better stop it. You better apologize publicly right now. You are considering to call yourself Tim Duncan. Excuse me. Let's start with the height. There's no comparison. And let's start with the championships. If we're gonna cross thread, but you failed miserably and it burned to the ground when you brought Ryan Garcia in and Money. No, hell no. So I absolutely agree, L Dog. It's a work in progress, man. You have to think about this, there, L Dog. The Aerosexual Relief Fund also include old unemployed psychiatrists, psychologists, physicians, anybody who can deal with the mind to figure this shit out. You understand me? We need to figure this shit out. He keeps on using that, Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan analogy. But I can't find a clip when Tim Duncan said, when I started shooting basketball, when they sent me to the Spurs, I didn't talk to Popovich for 2 years. He was telling me to do layups, and I wanted to shoot jumpers. He was telling me to do laps, and I wanted to go out and have a drink and eat some popcorn. We never really clicked the first 2 years I was here. You know what I'm saying? And David Robinson, he told me, hey, stay focused. I said, nigga, I am focused, man. And I'm focused on getting you out my motherfucking face, dog. Hey, I don't know what Spencer's talking about, but you have to weigh in the undeniable residual effects that he's going through right now. All I'm saying, L Dog, you gotta look at it in that perspective, bro. Him using all this San Antonio shit and all, no. Don't you dare do that again. Don't you dare. Samar Warren, what's good with you? Peace and blessings, beloved. Salute WCS certified, stamp the like button. Yes, sir, indeed. One love, brother. Thank you for pulling up today, man. Make sure you hit the like button on deck. Red Snapper, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Red Snapper, no doubt. AJ is the Admiral, David Robinson. More like Rudy Gobert, dog. He said, oh my God, Anthony Johnson, more like Rudy Gobert, man. I don't know what church y'all go to, but y'all really should reconsider your religion. Real talk. I done seen some of you all like what y'all become in the past several days leading up to July 29th is just disrespectful. Real talk. Belligerency on a whole nother level. Seriously. And I encourage you, continue. Continue. He said like Rudy Gobert, dog. Damn, give Rudy some love, man. Give Rudy some love. From a rough city on deck, man. He said, remember the name, remember the comment. Bud is going to step on shit. The 29th, I'll be back on the 30th to gloat about his high-class performance. Please don't say Spence was weight drained. Hey, we hoping they don't come with no fucking excuses, but Bud said, I'm training too hard. Come on, man. He said he's training too hard to think about that shit, bro. Bud said, I'm training too motherfucking hard, man. Damn, greatest thinker say Derrick James is gonna damn wave the white flag, man. He's gonna wave the right flag. An Olympic towel thrower. Damn, a new position has been created, a new sport, an Olympic towel thrower. They need to consider that in boxing. Because let me bring up something else before I get back to this video, right? There's something else that was said when ES News, because ES News be teleporting, you know what I'm saying? He be teleporting everywhere because he has the grand access. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else could get the grand access, however, whenever, whatever the case may be. But, you know, Errol Spence was at Frank Martin's fight card. And Spence mentioned that him and Crawford has to flip a coin. They have to flip a cone. All right. Cone is C-O-I-N. They have to flip a cone to see who walks out first. They're going to flip a coin to see who walks out first. That's what Spence has mentioned. I haven't heard Crawford mention that shit yet. But they're going to flip a coin on who walks out first. I'm not going to ask you all this in the chat. How do you feel about it? I really don't care. Because either way, both fighters have to be in the ring once their names is introduced again, and the referee's instructions back to your corners, and the fight begins, the opening bell. So to be honest with you, I don't really care who walks out first or second. But the fact that flipping a coin, cool. Also, we have to take in consideration again something that continues to come up about who made the fight. So when I hear Spence talk about who made the fight, he always want to put it back on money. So when I was listening back in 2022 on how the 65-35 was a huge deal, like this was every topic, every time you turn around from people who didn't have shit to do with the negotiations and still don't have shit to do with negotiations to this current date, because you have to make it a whole point to these individuals, right? That when you was over there last year talking about your sources, all you niggas, right? Talking about your sources all day long. Your sources did not provide you any information in 2023 about the split. None of you have talked about the split. So now you have Errol Spence talking about, well, I gave Crawford. It's no way that you gave him anything, because you don't give shit to people who don't deserve it. The way you and Derrick has been talking, how can anybody on your side tell you to give him anything? You don't give him anything and he don't deserve it. Why would you give him something he ain't fought nobody? It came out your mouth there, Errol. You say the man ain't fought nobody, shouty. That's what you said, EJ. You say the man ain't fought nobody. Why would you give him what he wanted and the bet, the $1 million bet that y'all had? Why would you give him all of this and he don't deserve it? He hasn't fought anyone. Even Derrick James said, who he fought? Who he fought? So both of you all singing for the same choir. Y'all playing the same instrument. That violin has broken strings already. Y'all continue to try to pick that motherfucker and create a damn hit. Terrence Crawford ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. But yet you out here telling people that you gave him, you know, when it come down to the fight, it's me. I'm the one made the fight. Why did you make the fight and give this man all that? And he doesn't deserve it, though. He doesn't deserve it, bro. You said he hasn't fought anybody. So since he's not on your level, why would you give him all that money? I have to continue to ask that. Like, why would you do that? You're not making any sense, bro. You're not making any sense whatsoever, dog. You're not making any sense when it comes down to this money deal. Like, you're in the beginning of the All Access EP2, you said, I'm the A side. But then you follow that up with putting the blame on Bud Crawford for like making you, like strong arming you to give him what he wanted, and you had to surrender and make it happen. That shit don't make sense to me. Like let me ask you this one question, EJ. What was Al Heyman in all this? Where was the Grand Poobah? That's all I'm saying, man. Where was the Grand Poobah? Where was the Grand Poobah? Because we know he was there the first negotiation, and he said he didn't want nobody else to touch it. Why would you put a ceiling on it? Right? We know that's sort of what Al Heyman said. And then when Terrence Crawford wanted to meet him in person, he said he was on the West Wing. And you know, he had to tend to certain things, you know, family wise. Okay, we get it. But listen, that Spence. Crawford called you then too. And it seemed like you wasn't persuaded when he was trying to present you the hedge fund and all that stuff. So all the pundits had something to say about that shit. But y'all are missing out. We want to include the matchmakers at Top Rank too, right? You know, we want to make sure we get clarity to the matchmakers at Top Rank now, because how can he be signed to Top Rank and they match him so pristinely? Oh my God, what? Look, I go back to the 18 days when they say, I love when a plan come together. When you go back to the Top Rank days of matchmaking, how they pristinely match Crawford, all the criticism they was given, but look how pristinely they matched Crawford, because how he was able to come up through the ranks and achieve what he did. Errol Spence was forced to give this man what he asked for. How does that work again? How can you be signed with a promotion and the Errol sexuals out here digging in their nose, goddamn eating the boogers and goddamn screaming and yelling, you know, pouting and shit, talking about, oh man, he ain't fought nobody. But goddamn it, nigga, tell me this. Tell me how the hell his resume and what he's been able to accomplish with the WBO title allows him business to be able to have Spence say, well, I gave him what he wanted. I gave him what he wanted. Why? No. Why? Why did you give him what he wanted? We're talking about pristine matchmaking where he didn't fight nobody. How in the hell did you give this man what he wanted if he don't deserve it, EJ? You ain't making any sense, man. You and your coach couldn't stop this shit. Was Derrick James there for the negotiations? What was Al Heyman? Was he there for the negotiation? Who was there, bro? Was it just you and Crawford? Did Crawford show up in a wrestling singlet, his wrestling attire, and say, hey, nigga, there's only one way to figure this out, dog. If you can stop me from pinning you, you can have negotiation the way you want. But if I pin you in under goddamn 10 seconds, you got to give me what I want when it comes to this negotiation. Do y'all think that's how it went down? I'm just curious. I'm just trying to throw some scenarios out there. I'm just trying to keep y'all tuned in. But let's get back to the video.
Details. The mental fortitude necessary to topple formidable opposition. That's the name of the game now. Staying motivated when you're tired. Trainers are great for that. But nothing beats having dad at your side.
It's great to have my dad here, being that, you know, my dad wasn't always there, but he's there now, and it feels good because that's all I wanted as a kid was for my dad to be where he is now. So it's motivating, it's inspiring to me because my dad is always that eye, like, all right, let's go. And I still get that little kid feeling like I gotta push harder because my dad said go.
That's good shit, man. You know, when I was coming up, especially down in the South, man, they always used to talk about, for whatever reason, how they brought up this welfare system, and you know, it's to keep black men out of the families because the women couldn't really get approved for welfare if the man was staying with them in the home. So therefore, women was being single parents while the black father was out here still doing what he was doing. But yet he couldn't be a part of the family as a whole unless he made enough income for them to live together. It's good to hear Terrence say that his dad wasn't always around, but he's here now. It's good because I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot of what I see today. It's a lot of what's going on. Grudge holders. There's a lot of kids out here that's unfucking grateful. Period. There's a lot of kids that's unfucking grateful. And they don't have that same maturity. And they'll go ever in a day. All right. They go for on and years and years. You know, finger pointing at their parents until they get old. Their parents get ready to die. They come around. Oh, I apologize. Look, listen, it's too late. I'm glad that he's, you know, his father's in his corner now, and he's able to be around. And we're talking about he's being able to witness his son going there to the battlefield once again and fight one of the biggest fights of his career again, because he already been undisputed before. So he's going in there to solidify history again, to be the first to do it on the male side of the house when it comes to boxing. You know what I'm saying? I heard somebody be petty. We're not overlooking or ignoring what Clarissa Shields has been able to accomplish. But I believe a lot of you are tending to pay her a disingenuous attention, and you want to bring her up, her accolades up now, just to discount or devalue what the intentions are for Terrence Bud Crawford. His intentions is to go in there and be the first male to do it. And salute to the GWOAT for being able to achieve what she's been able to, male or female. But this has strictly to do with Terrence Crawford. This has strictly to do something that he's done before. Not only was he was on a short list of undisputed fighters previously, but he's going in there July 29th to become a two-time, and he would be in a list and the company of his own when he's able to accomplish that come Saturday night, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, shawty.
Forever.
That's the name of the game now. Staying motivated when you're tired. Trainers are great for that. But nothing beats having dad at your side.
Now, do it cross my mind? Yeah, it always crossed my mind. What if? But my mind is so strong that it kicks those negative thoughts out.
Last 4 fights, my mouthpiece came out.
It's the most accurate mouthpiece to ever have.
So Errol Spence just mentioned that his last 4 fights, his mouthpieces came out. So His last 4 fights, huh? His last 4 fights? Is that true, y'all? His last 4 fights? Does his mouthpiece come out with Sean Porter? and if his mouthpiece came out with Sean Porter, why? Were you tired? Were you tired? Because you had your other teeth, your regular teeth, your born teeth then. So what is it with you and this mouthpiece? Maybe they should just get you a mouthpiece that's zip tie equipped. You know, you have about 4 zip ties in there. And like I said before, put a little incision on both sides of your jaws and just zip tie the mouthpiece, you know, around your jaw and back in, and make sure that mouthpiece is held firmly in place, man.
Must be scrutinized and addressed.
Got lots of tattoos, though, so you shouldn't be too scared of needles, right?
Yeah. I'm good on that. I'm just getting my body ready to go out in the all-out war because I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. It could be anything. It's all about training your body, you know, physically and mentally to prepare for war. I feel like the greats, whether it's basketball, football, boxing, whatever, you know, they kept focused 100% all the time. And that 1 second you lose focus, that's the 1 second you can either get caught or something can happen. So I believe that's what's going to keep me at the high level, just staying focused. Once you lose focus, even in life, once you lose focus, you know, anything can happen.
So my question to you, EJ, is when you say lose focus, does that have to do with acupuncture? Because during the series, you was talking about losing focus, but you was getting acupuncture. And also, not to be petty, but losing focus does that mean doing what you did in the past with those same individuals that was around you? Focus. Well, I'm not gonna bring it up in detail, but all I'm saying is you've had a long time to think about being focused, and you've had discrepancies that people are aware of that cause you to lose focus. So with that said, you lost focus in your Dinas Ugas fight. And it wasn't just because that your mouthpiece was on the canvas, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're losing focus for other reasons. And I hope come July 29th, you totally understand everything leading up to this point. You understand that the easy route ruined you. You understand that you're in there with a better fighter. You know what I'm saying? You understand that you're in there for a war. You understand that the coach that you chose, right? You should have went off your instinct. You should have understood that the coach that you chose during that 2 period of probation that you was on, and you weren't saying too much to him, that you fucked up by staying there. You know what I'm saying? You should have at that point in time went off your instinct. And you need to understand that Derrick James is not going to be able to come up successfully with a plan to have you come in here and pick these belts up. He's not the guy, Spence. DJ ain't the guy, man. The Buddha, the Black Buddha, he's not the guy for you, man. And it just so happened that you have all these achievements, which you tried to make sure that Sean Porter picked that belt. I know you was hoping. You was cheering for Sean Porter to pick that belt up because this is not something you wanted to check on your bucket list because you weren't planning on it being there. You weren't trying to check this off your bucket list. You weren't even trying to put it on your bucket list. When Kell Brook went in that motherfucker, that's okay. Kell Brook got washed. Boom. Done. But Sean Porter, you was hoping and praying. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn Derrick James was up there rubbing his stomach, meditating and shit. What you feel, Derrick? Did they speak to you? Did they tell you any good things? Well, I don't know, man. There's some shit that was going on, but I need that ayahuasca type psychedelics. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, man. All I know is I have no idea. Derrick James couldn't meditate and tell you what was about to happen to Sean Porter. So Sean Porter, he couldn't take the belt. Then you found out that you still had to go in there and face Yordenis Ugas for the WBA title. And the man that you was going to have to fight as the last man standing for your easy route. You know, deep down inside, EJ, it's going to be a task that you damn near going to have to die for. And the good thing when it comes to death, a lot of times people don't know they're about to die. You know what I'm saying? They don't know it. Sometimes their brain shut off. They black out, or however you want to look at it. They don't know about it in that time and in that moment. But this fight right here is the toughest that you ever had in the boxing ring. And what you've been able to do in your lifetime, cheat, cut corners, fuck off the sport, be unprofessional, drink, smoke, do what the hell you want to do, still talking about smoking bud and all that other shit. Bro, it's going to be people here that don't care about none of that come July 29th. You are not prepared for what you're about to go in there with, period. These cats, when they speak about you, EJ, they speak about you like nothing has happened. That's some cowardice shit like that. Like they don't hold you accountable for anything. I'm not saying you're not fit for the job, my brother. You are an elite fighter. I'm just telling you straight up and down that you've used the cheat code on fighters that you were able to get away with that. You're not going in here believing that you're fighting Yordenis Ugas, bro. You're not fighting a Danny Garcia that never wanted the Terrence Crawford smoke. You're not fighting them, bro. You're not doing it. You're fighting the actual man himself. And in your career, like I say about a lot of combat sports, you always have those rivals that never quite blossom into anything because the alpha was just too much. You know what I'm saying? The alpha is just too much for you. And in this case, Bud is your alpha there, Spence. You have to come to reality and face it. Now, this would be a different conversation if it was before the accident. Maybe if you was out of the streets and into the gym and stayed in the gym. And like you said, did the things that kept you out of the streets. But I guess that got a little boring for you. And now you have to go up here and face the reality that your opponent, he's a different type fighter, bro. It's a reason why you didn't put him on the freaking you didn't put him on your easy route. Both of y'all might have been on the pound for pound list together, but it's a reason why you didn't put him on the easy route. And during that time, you was taking the easy route for the WBC and the WBA title. Every single time that you wanted to celebrate, somebody told you, we almost there. We almost there, Spence. We almost there. We got 2 more belts. 2 more belts. Good. We're here April 16th. You got it done. Congratulations. We're almost there. Oh my God, we're almost there. This is going to be so tough. Well, this is going to be so tough, man. God damn it. Let's hope Avanesian pulls it off. Please, Buddha, where might you be? Buddha, please answer our prayers and let this cherry pick go wrong. Please let Avanesian upset the world. I know I can beat Avanesian. I know I can, goddammit. Please, Avanesian, shock the world, goddammit. Shock it. Bing, bong, bing. The fight is over. In round 6. And still, by way of knockout, Terrence Bud Crawford. You want to talk about refugees running through the streets into brick walls and into the bumpers of oncoming traffic? Oh man, it was wild because they actually was there all together having a whole visual. They was all in the dark, y'all in a visual. My God, please, Avanesian, do it. Do it, Avanesian. We will pay you so handsomely. Fight him. Get him out of there. You're the EBU champion, Avanesian. Oh my God. Stop the motherfucking press, bro. They had niggas out there plotting on Bud Crawford for Avanesian, dog. They was mad because negotiations didn't go their way. Notice what I said, their way. They was mad that negotiations didn't go their way. You had dudes on here talking about give them, take whatever they give you type slavish talk, right? And then when he about face, he stood up and about faced and marched in the opposite direction over the BLK Prime. Them niggas was in church all for the wrong reasons, man. Buddha! Yo, Buddha! Ah! Buddha! Ah! Please, Buddha! We come to you, Buddha! Ah, we hope that you bring us blessings, Buddha. David Avanesian. Man, let me stop. Let me get to this shit. Haynes Legacy, what's good, bro? Salute to you. Shout out to you and the fam there, Haynes. Hope all is well, bro. Bro, they had Crawford on there like 7 minutes. They pushing EJ hard. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to detail, Haynes Legacy. Let them know, bro. Did you see all the lengthy? Look, one thing I would say, you know what I'm saying? He's the home guy. He's the golden child, okay? So they subliminally, we gotta understand one thing, Haynes Legacy. The same thing they did out in Cali. They wanna announce this man as a 2-division world champion. You know what I'm saying? That's why the disrespect that's coming from the chat is warranted. You know what I'm saying? You want to introduce that man as a 2-division world champion. You know what I'm saying? It's disrespectful. They've been taking shots for the longest of time. Shout out to Mac World ONE1 on deck. DJ might not make it to the fight. I promise y'all, they're gonna pay. Damn, that sound like the shit he said to goddamn Jose Benavidez. You better shut up before you don't make it to your fight. Okay? You better be quiet before you not make it to your fight. Oh shit, man. RMR 123, man. What's good with it? And the so-called A side gave up a lot for Bud to just be a B side. Hey, Haynes, I just go back to the matchmaking and the matchmaking, the mud that was thrown on the matchmaking process on how they said that they had good matchmaking over there, but the same opposition that he has on this resume was the same one that Errol Spence knows about. The same man that is holding the WBO World Welterweight title. It's the same man with that same opposition he had at Top Rank. To hear Errol Spence say, they told me to give him what he wanted. Why would you do that for a B-side type of dude that y'all say that's not worthy of it? I asked that question from here all the way to the 29th there, Haynes. Why and how does a B-side opposition receive that royalty treatment when it comes to negotiation? Please, somebody help me. Jason, what's good? Fam, you on cooking? Well, as a country boy, we like the smokeout fish. Yeah, I agree with you. It's nothing like good smoked fish. I ain't gonna lie. But since this is hot grease, there, Jason, for this occasion only. This is a hot grease fish fry. This is the only way. We don't want to massage. We don't want to marinate the fish and shit and put it into some temperature to bake it. Even though, yeah, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna feel the temperature change and all that. We understand that, Jason. But it's something different when you toss a fish into that goddamn hot grease. That grease start to talk. It's different. It's different when it comes to that fried fish now. Porter, Ugas, DSG all got 60-40 splits from EJ. That's A-side talk is BS. If you're the big star, they should have got 70-30 or 75-35. Hey, talk that shit, Tyrese. And look, how Mikey Garcia who didn't do anything at 147. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say, yeah, he the B-side Tyrese. He didn't do shit at 47. And Mikey walked up out of there with over 3 million. I don't know about you. That don't seem right. Mikey was up here and he got a damn good split. And he walked up out of here with over 3 mil. And he ain't did shit at damn 147. You hear Spence say Bud demanded they flip a coin to determine who walks out last. Damn, Bud wasn't playing with negotiations. Hey, man, I love it. AMP, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, I love the game. I love this shit. I love the game. You know why? You know why I like that? Because all I heard these aerosexuals come in here and speak about is how Bud negotiating bad faith, y'all. I heard it so many times, dog. I had to stand up and G-check the conductor. I said, nigga, listen to me, man. You're going to play the same motherfucking song all the time. Switch it up. Throw some drums in that bitch. All I'm hearing is harmonicas and flutes. These niggas be crying. Come on, bro. They keep on saying the same shit all the time. He negotiating bad faith. Negotiating bad faith. Negotiating bad faith. How can a dude negotiate in bad faith? And we hear Errol Spence say, they just said, give him what he want. Well, give him what he asking. Give him what he asking. So, you know, Terrence obviously has some other side. You know what I'm saying? He didn't waver from being tough at negotiation. And not only that, it wasn't like he wasn't willing to compromise. In the first negotiation, from what we understood, was that he accepted all terms, which, you know, 65-35 was the so-called nomenclature. Okay, nomenclature for that first split, 65-35. So he was accommodating. No back end, you know what I'm saying? No guarantee, just based off the net. And then the questions that he proposed for transparency and looking at the books, these aerosexuals was out here bitching and moaning and using up just a tremendous amount of damn crotch pads. Okay, they was up here saying, oh, you don't deserve transparency. You ain't did shit for transparencies. Who the fuck you think you are asking for transparency? And not to mention that they was talking about net pay, not gross pay, net pay. So if there was a business deal going on, those people would be like, well, I've been in the business for this long period of time, and there's certain procedures and protocols that we go through. And yeah, we definitely have to check the books to make sure the money is right, the numbers are adding up and all that. But you know, when Crawford did it, they was talking about what he didn't deserve, and they was still talking about business. It was business, y'all. This shit was fucking business. And they was up here dogging the fuck out of him for paying attention. I don't know, man. There was too many of my people gathered up together, and they was making us look real bad, man. You know, they was like a YTC lynch mob out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? They just had this agenda that everything that they would praise another person that was out there in the civilian world, you know, working, considered a successful business entrepreneur and all this other shit. They'll be praising them. They'll be sitting on the front row. Oh man, I just love your videos, your workshops. I really hope to achieve and be where you at one day. And then when one thing they heard in the workshop, when it comes to Bud, you know, they talked about making sure that you pay attention to detail and you don't overlook something that can cost you a lot of money going forward, and you don't recognize it till you've already put so many years into this. See, when Bud do it, they be like, oh man, fuck that, man. That was his workshop. What that nigga want to look at shit for, man? Fuck him. He don't need to look at shit, man. Al Heyman, he been in this business for a long time. You think he'll fuck him over? No, he wouldn't. He'll look out for Bud just like he was his own. Man, get the fuck out of here. No, not at all. Not at all, bro. Not at all. That's some bullshit. Ungrateful kids. That's a super fact. Yeah, y'all hit the like button, man. Come on now. And y'all grown. One thing I know about in the chat, man, I got grown folks in the chat, man. Hit the like button. I appreciate you. Ungrateful kids, that's a super fact. It's a learned behavior and sad. It is, man. These ungrateful ass kids that think they did everything on their own. Hey, Samad, we should get an automatic compensation for wiping their ass for as long as we did. You know what I'm saying? We should get compensated for that shit. All the dirty diapers, all the time showing them, hey, don't piss on the motherfucking toilet. Okay, don't piss on the toilet. Potty training your ass. You goddamn ungrateful ass nigga, man. Get your ass in there, man. Cook your own food. Mama told me I was too young to play on the stove. No, you better find a microwave. Detroit Detail, what's good, man? Shout out to Pablo. What's good with you, bro? After part 2, all access, I must say both Bud and Arrow look ready and in shape. TBC all day, still 2-time undisputed. 729, 730. I hear you, D-Town. Salute to you, big dog, pulling up. I'm not really looking as the who look ready. I'm not really looking at it in that. Like, I think people misunderstand with me doing live streams on the physical aesthetic and the conditioning. We're talking about a physically full contact sport, right? I'm looking at the guy that I seen that look closer to being in the gym all the time when I saw him in freaking Cali, right? And that tells me that on his clock, he felt like, yeah, the fight is on the horizon and I'm going to do everything it takes to continue to stay in shape. I'm not saying Terrence Crawford was in fight shape all that time, but he knew if he kept his weight down and wasn't undisciplined when he got to the table and just eat anything, he would be good because your body works off the fuel you put into it. Whereas we seen Spence, he looked like he was holding a lot, right? And he know he had to take that shit off. But when somebody is recklessly, they used to being reckless for a long period of time, it becomes a whole entire mindset for them to be reckless. What did you hear him say? I find out I got a fight camp and it's this amount of weeks and I may be fucking off, you know, doing what I want to do the first week in camp, but then I'll lock in. And then, you know, from what I gathered, he was trying to give off the impression like, look at my, listen to my mentality and look at my record. With my mentality and my record, I've still been able to achieve success in my career. And I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to do around the clock. So my perspective in who looks what is that I'm taking it from the internal perspective and who's been cheating and who hasn't. And where's that cheating going to show itself in a fight of this magnitude? Now you're not fighting an opponent that may be, you know, you want to find out if they're on the level that you're on or whatever. And you know that you can cheat during training camp and still go in there and compete just enough to win. Now you're in there with a guy who you know damn well has a higher boxing IQ than you do. His mindset is different when he goes on the attack and locks in the training camp, especially for an undisputed title, a title bout that he's been there at the pinnacle before. He's trying to make history again. It's just a lot of things that I believe that Errol Spence knows in his heart of hearts, bro, that he's been able to utilize with previous opponents that he's not going to get away with in this fight. They was hoping Bud came off that title, bro, between Kell Brook and Sean Porter. They was hoping. Because listen, Sean Porter lost to Errol Spence. Errol Spence felt like he had bragging rights because he did beat Sean Porter. But they felt that Bud wasn't better. Look, they felt that Bud wasn't better than Errol because Errol can beat everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume. So therefore, Sean Porter isn't on Terrence Crawford's resume. He wasn't on Terrence Crawford's resume at the time. But they do know that Sean Porter lost to Errol Spence. So they was thinking that Sean Porter was going to go in there and fight Terrence Crawford, who they believe nobody on Terrence Crawford's record was the caliber of Sean Porter. And they really believe 100% that he was going to go in there and get the job done. And they fucked up. And he ended up being stopped. So say what you want. If Sean Porter would have if Sean Porter would have defeated Terrence Crawford, they would have been on here talking, that's what we thought. We told you that Errol Spence could beat everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume. We told you that. You didn't believe us. Now what? We got Sean Porter went over there and beat Terrence Crawford. Look, them dudes would have fought 3 weeks later. If Sean Porter would have picked up that WBO title, Errol Spence would have, they would have made the announcement for the fight next week. Fight for Undisputed will go down in this amount of days. Oh, we just can't wait. Shit, it wouldn't have took as long as it did. It wouldn't have took over a year. That fight would have been in Texas. Errol Spence would have dropped weight as quick as you ever seen him. Real talk. He already fought Sean Porter, so he would have had a sense of comfort. Oh man, he would have been gleaming. Going in there fighting a fighter he already beat. I'm telling you. Fucked up the apple cart, boy. Bud fucked up the apple cart for real. He fucked that shit up. All the way up. You know what I'm saying? They had this little scenario going around on how Errol Spence can beat everybody on Terrence Crawford's resume. And also, look, on top of that, they felt that Errol Spence can beat Crawford. They felt that Crawford hasn't beat anybody up to this date that could compare to who Errol Spence faced. So their blindness told them, yeah, Errol, you know, him fighting Sean Porter and look at the way he did, there's no way that Terrence Crawford can beat Sean Porter. And then he went there and made it look easy. They put it on retirement. Kenny Porter coming there talking about, oh, I seen it in practice. Okay. I mean, he's seen it in training, but he didn't see it enough in training to the point where he didn't show up to collect that check, though. I guess it wasn't that much to collect that check. Nelly Content, what's good? Salute WCS, salute everyone in the chat. Smash the like. Appreciate you there, Nelly. It's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. Anyway, DJ is shook because they fed Errol lies. They told him he was this big, strong punching machine, but now he has to face the real deal. DJ know Errol will lose. They can't back up none of that shit. Hey, Mac World. All of a sudden, hey, you tell me if I'm wrong or not, but all of a sudden Derrick James is into Buddhism. When did this happen? When did this happen? Is Terrence Crawford making these dudes not only give him what he wanted in negotiations, but does Terrence have these dudes switching up religion? I saw a motherfucking reflection off the top of a building when I was in Texas. And I say, damn, that shit, it might have been the top of Derrick James' head. He was on top of that motherfucker meditating in the blazing ass heat wave over in Texas. He said, if you could do anything for me at this time in this heat wave, I just ask that you allow us to just go into this fight and not get slaughtered. Okay? It's so damn hot. That's all I got. Yeah, hey, somebody give me a Gatorade. God damn it. Oh man, they say this religion, I'm supposed to come in here and meditate and I won't feel no pain. This shit hot as fuck. When did he become a Buddha? When did he become immersed in Buddhism, man? How Bud got these dudes switching up shit, bro? How How do you need a nutrition now all of a sudden? Just do what you was doing. If you was goddamn cooking spam, motherfucking brown eggs and ham, why get a nutritionist for Crawford? Because you told your girl, you said, oh, I knew heading into that Danny Garcia fight, I only had to be 40%, nigga. Talk to him, King. Talk to him, King. King, let him know, King. He said he knew he can be 40% to go in there and fight Danny Garcia and still goddamn dog walking, man. I wonder, do you have that same type of mentality about Bud Crawford? Because you get a nutritionist locked on. You know what I'm saying? You got a nutritionist. You got your strength and conditioning. I see you getting acupuncture. I see you doing contortionist shit. You becoming the first black boxing contortionist. Now you switching up a lot of shit. Why? Because Terrence Crawford, you can beat everybody on his resume, man. You can beat everybody on his resume. Why are you changing up now? Like you said his resume, Errol, and you know WCS have to hold you accountable just like I hold myself accountable there, Errol. Mr. Spence, you said the man's resume was a 0.5 out of a 10. That's what you said, Errol. Why is your coach changing religions if your resume, if you believe Terrence Crawford resume is a 0.5, nigga? Why are you locking in and getting acupuncture and stretching yourself out? All you got to do is lose the weight the way you're talking. You don't need anything else. 0.5, that is the bottom of the barrel. That means he's been fighting gardeners the entire time, tomatoes. You're not making any sense, bro. You've been capping this whole time. Just like Macworld said. You know what I'm saying? DJ know you're going to lose. He just don't want to tell you because he want to get that paycheck. He don't want you to fire him right before that fight and put running shields in place. You know what I'm saying? That's what you don't want. You don't want to be up here trying to damn locate how Errol Spence locating the coach. You know what I'm saying? Errol might have his pops in the corner by fight night. Shout out to Candy Slim 501, man. Salute to you, bro. One love. Thanks for the $5 super chat on deck. Bro, we watched all the fights. WTF is Errol talking about? He lost his mouthpiece his last 4 fights when he only had 2 fights since the accident. Candy Slim, as I listened to what you put in the chat, I had to say the same thing. The neurological headquarters is not wired. They need to bring in a technician after the 29th. Keep it the same way it is right now. Do you believe that your mouthpiece been knocked out the last 4 fights? Let him believe that, Candy Slim. Let him believe that. Let that nigga believe that shit, dog. Hey, I don't worry. If he said the last 4 fights, cool. Long as he understands that he has the toughest fight of his life inside the ring happening July 29th. If he think it was 4 fights ago, his mouthpiece came out, cool. But nobody wasn't really talking about this until the Danny Garcia fight and then the Dennis Ugas fight. And then hearing him come out and explain why he did what he did in there against Ugas makes all the sense in the world. But he said it was the last 4 fights that can. You got to believe him, big dog. You got to believe him, man. But hey, don't get no help until July 30th. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Candy Slim 501, man, for that $5 super chat. I appreciate you for your support, big dog. And everybody else that supported the channel today via donation and your attendance One love to y'all, man. Well, you know, Errol did say he was born in 1990. And in 2015, he was 15 years old. So he bad be fucked up. Hey, also Big Blunts, he said he started boxing in 2015. Then he say he started boxing in 2015. That would take him, that would mean he was cloned. It was a clone in the Olympics in 2012. If he started boxing in 2015. That means there was a clone in the Olympics in 2012. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things going on. There's something going on. Real talk. Larry Lopez, what's good with you? Salute. B.I.G. on deck, I see you. What are they going to say when Bud KO EJ? I don't know. I can go through many scenarios about that. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that needs to be said is when he walks over there to Terrence Crawford, he said, man, damn good fight, man. I knew you was going to fuck me up, but I just didn't want to admit to it to myself. I knew I had the wrong coach for the job, but me switching up at this point in the training camp, it would have been too much of a distraction. But hey, man, you did your thing in there, and I'll see you at 154, man. And listen, don't worry about it. This is over, man. I don't want shit to do with you at 154. What I plan on doing, I'm gonna fight some of them other guys up there. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, the conversation may even go a little bit different than that. The BIG. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, it might even go a little bit different than that. Because we really don't know how bad of an ass whooping that Terrence is gonna put on this dude. So it might be even worse than that, man. It may even come down to the point where we have to send out invitations to Errol Spence retirement. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the retirement celebration honoring Errol Spence Jr. It might be his retirement, people. He might walk over there and say, man, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for a sign. You know what I'm saying? And you gave me this sign. You did. You gave me this sign that it was at the right moment, bro. Like it was at the right moment. Like I wasn't thinking about retirement, but the beating you put on me said, damn, if I can't fuck with him at 147, I'm definitely not gonna be able to fuck with him at 154. I have to take this ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not gonna be able to do it. So we might be looking at Errol Spence's last fight. Real talk. This might be Errol Spence's last fight. So I have took it upon myself the due diligence and the proactiveness to create a first banner of the Errol Spence retirement celebration, honoring the former unified welterweight world champion. That's all. That's what I was sent here to do. Don't be mad at me, man. Don't be mad at me. All I'm doing is preparing you all ahead of time. We got 13 days now. Don't believe that shit that 13 is a strange number. Don't think this sign is a strange number that I had to bring out on the 13 days left. Don't think that way about me. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it, man. I had no ulterior motives by creating this and releasing it on the 13th day. That's remaining in July 29th. No way whatsoever, man. Please don't blame me for that shit. Don't do it. Let me get back to the chat right quick. Shout out to Green in the building. Salute WCS in the chat. It's a few of these supposed pro Crawford channels switching up because of all access episode. It's sad when some of these channels can't stand on their square. It is, brother. You know, it's very much a pusillanimous type behavior that has been out in existence for quite some time, Green. Recognize a coward when you see him. If they're pro Crawford channels and they're switching up, then they was never pro to begin with. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people, like, you can think however you want to think. But when I hear people iffy and they say, I like both fighters, my heart is with so-and-so, but I'm leaning toward, no, nigga, you ain't leaning nowhere. You pick one side and you support that side heavy all the way up to that fight. That's what you're supposed to do. But if they so-called Crawford, all they're doing is trying to get views. They're not truly dedicated to supporting the fighter. They just getting views. That's all. That's all they're doing. I don't want to mention no channel name. I know they switch up and go against the grain on purpose just for views. And look, the audience, they listeners must love the circus show because they keep on tuning in. That's just what I see, man. If they switching up green, don't worry about it, dog. Cause look, if you seen them, that means somebody else seen them switching up too. You know what I'm saying? The same thing I let that other guy know when he was trying to switch up at 7-Eleven and let people know that he was trying to switch back. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to switch back, and they still to this day haven't let him live that shit down. And matter of fact, Blue, mentioning you, I need to let you know that you said you was gonna put 13 pay-per-views back in the day. Estimate as $100. Knowing it's not at $100, this is $84.99, I believe. Are you still going to put 13 extra pay-per-views in the household, or was you just that mad at me at that time? And look, I don't want no smoke, man. This is not to come at you. They're Blue Blood Sports. But back in the day when you thought this fight was going to happen, you say you was going to put 13 pay-per-views in the household, right? So therefore, now that the fight is official, I'm looking for the envelope there, Blue. Where's the envelope with that 1,300 in there? Come on, I know you stashed that somewhere. Is that still on? Are you still on for that 13 families with a lower pay-per-view? So you should have some change left over. I'm just saying, stick to your word. Be honorable, bro. Be honorable. You said that. You said me and my mans. You said get my mans in them to match the 13 pay-per-views in the household at $100. If y'all see Blue, please can you ask them that question? I want to make sure those 13 families aren't left out in the cold. If you're gonna put that out there to the people, please be an honorable individual. Give those 13 households what you said you was gonna give them. That's just like Ricky. What's good, Ricky? Ricky Williams say, hey, I'm gonna give away 2 tickets. Look, I'm gonna give away 2 tickets to the fight, to the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight. And it's not gonna be no nosebleed either. But you have to be an avid listener, an avid member of the channel. Well, due to the prices that I've been seeing that's out there, I wonder how that worked out. Where are these people gonna sit? Are you gonna honor what you said too, there, Ricky? I'm just bringing up old shit now. I'm just saying, the closer we get to the fight, I'm just bringing up old shit. All you cats that was up here talking about, oh man, I'm gonna give back to my listeners. I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. Well, now it's time. The fight is official, bro. Shout out, NO. How you feeling, bro? What's good with it, fam? Errol doesn't like water now. He's trying to fix the leaking pipes. Who heard of a drowning fish that Errol? And I said that myself when Derrick James was brutally splashing that water on his back, Don. I mean, brutally abusing him with that damn cold water. You saw him dip his hand in the water and flick that shit on Spence's back. And that's why he had to get acupuncture in the All Access episode, because he threw his motherfucking back out. That's why he was being stretched out, because Derrick was torturing his ass in that water. I'm serious. I can't make this shit up, bro. When Derrick dipped his hand in the water, he said, shut the fuck. And he got down. Spence jumped. I say, what kind of fish is this? This is fishy. Nigga, this is fishy right here. What type of shark would jump like that just off the strength of some little splash. Damn. But hey, I hope the acupuncture worked. I hope the back breaking, stretching, contortionist, aerobic type. I hope they was able to get those little, vertebrae back in place and everything. But you're right, Don. Like, what kind of shark that's scared of water like this? To tell the truth. What's good? I like W says he wants y'all to tell the truth and pay attention to detail. Hey, G Royal, what's good? Appreciate you pulling up to tell the truth. Make sure you sub to the channel, bro. It's first time I seen y'all over here. G Royal, what's good? W says throughout the build up of this fight, Errol Spence has been giving away his game plan by saying he's going to step forward and break Crawford's will. You're right, man. Man, I gotta give it up to the chat. Damn, y'all some educated boxing scholars. I swear to God. I don't know how y'all gonna be come the following week. I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna have to talk about something else. No, I take that back. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be talking about this for months after. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be rubbing it in their motherfucking face. I'm not gonna lie to you. But damn. Y'all up here goddamn graduating Kuma Sam Laden. I started to say Kuma bin Laden, but I didn't want to goddamn pique the interest of the motherfucking YouTube people. Y'all try to graduate Kuma Sam Laden. Shit. Dropping comments in there like that. Hey, I get where you coming from. You know what I'm saying? He been talking about, okay, the only thing we should expect is him stepping. So that seems like he's gonna what? Fight the same way he did with Spence. I mean, with Sean Porter. He want to come forward and try to break him. But he didn't give me that energy. Like, he didn't give me that breaking. When he fought Sean Porter, dog, let's be honest. Did Sean Porter look like he was breaking when he had a flash knockdown and stood back up and said, come on, man. Come on. Okay, ref. All right, man. Damn, step aside. Let's go. Let's fight. And he went back to fighting. Did you break Sean Porter, nigga? Come on, stop it. Damn. Do they teach y'all how to lie in Buddhism? Damn, bro. The fights ain't adding up, aerosexuals. The intensity level's not adding up. He didn't break Sean Porter. What did all this breaking shit come into play? Why would you get tattoos on your body of sharks when Sean Porter damn near beat you? He damn near drowned you, man. I got Crawford by TKO. Terrence Crawford will use his counter-punching ability to hurt Errol Spence and TKO him. Errol's believing too much in the pressure fighting style to win this fight. Let him, my brother. Let him believe what he want to believe. Let him believe it. If he believes that there's no reason for him to come in here with a different type of style, going in there with that Omaha Monster, okay, we get to see a damn good fight because he believes that he can use the same template that he's used with other fighters, and he can go ahead and use it on Terrence Crawford. When there's not one person gonna tell you about the template and the fighting style of Terrence Crawford. So he's going in there blindly trying to say, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. I'm gonna go in there and step. And he tried to bring Crawford into it. I'm a step, and I know Crawford's gonna step. No, nigga, what you want to happen, you want Terrence Crawford to fight you like Sean Porter did. That's all you want. You want somebody to fight you with the style that you're comfortable with. You want that right there, standing in your face, brawling type style. Okay, there, Errol Spence. And look, you should take you should take this for thought. I'm talking about you should bookmark it, archive it, and you really should go to it during your downtime when you just got chewing and you just thinking and you just relaxing. Sean Porter said you wanted him to know that you was going to beat him in his style, and Crawford was going to beat Sean Porter at Crawford style. You should understand how that whole mentality is all bad for you come July 29th. That's all I'm saying, big dog. I remember doing an interview. Errol said that boxing his opponents is to boxing, and he wanted to go back to bulldozing his opponent, which is why I think Errol will rely mostly on his pressuring Bud. Hey, go back to boxing, dog. Hey, let him go back to boxing. Let him go from boxing to brawling. Go right ahead. Appreciate it, to tell the truth, no doubt. Go back. You know what I'm saying? Go back to brawling. You know, you barely squeaked out a win against Sean Porter. Go back. Do that. Do that. That's cool. From the big fish to the little mermaid on the 29th. You already know. You know what I'm saying? For the big fish, I don't even see this dude as a big fish, dog. Real talk. I don't see him as a big fish, dog. What big fish you know you can tattoo on your body, man? Seriously. First, you know, we get a t-shirt that has a shark walking up the hallway. I've never seen that shit in my life. I'm not saying there ain't some baby sharks out there, but we're talking about a shark big and look for them world champions. That got to be a big motherfucker. You know, that had to be the one that's intimidating. Walking up and down hallway, and he's out of water too, on goddamn Wakandan shit, right? So, being that I didn't believe that, then I saw the situation with Derrick James splash that man, and he threw his back out. He had to go in there and get acupuncture and all that. Shit ain't adding up. And then turn back around, I see the tattoo with a shark on there and some other sharks swimming around. I say, how can you fit a motherfucking big fish on the canvas of a little chest? Like a small chest area. How does that fucking work? It doesn't make any sense, man. I don't know where he came up with this big fish tag, but he should have stuck with the truth. Strap season, line them up, put them in the dirt, man down. Stick with shit that you can always go back to. This fish stuff, you can't always go back. You know what I'm saying? Because once a fish is transferred over to a plate and the person that is in charge of that plate stick a fork in it and start to consume that fish all the way down to the bone and remove all the meat and everything else, then that person sits around, whatever they doing, they drink, they hydrate, they drive, their body break down and makes that fish become waste, and the fish returns back from which it came. But this time, when it returns back to water, it doesn't know it, especially when they hear that toilet flush. Shh. I'm just saying that's the life cycle. A fish come out that motherfucker, they get cooked, and then when it's all said and done, they go right back in the water. But this time your ass ain't swimming. I'm just trying to give you a vivid picture there, Spence. I'm trying to give you a vivid picture on how fish happen to work. They come out that motherfucker, they get cooked, they get eaten, and then they get shitted on. That's awesome. Don't be mad at me, nigga. Don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you how it works. Errol would go from the big fish. He said the grave digger last night. I know Julo. He said the grave digger last night went crazy when he heard that. When he heard what? I forgot. When he heard what? Something that Spencer said. I get it. Something that Spencer said. Those are not really Spence fans anyway. They rarely even spoke of Spence. They just talked about Crawford. They're truly Crawford fans, but they're just mad that they have to go along with the freaking narrative pushing agenda. You know what I'm saying? The square wheel boys. You know what I'm saying? They have to go along with the agenda that's out here being pushed. Spence calling himself the grave digger. He must be digging his own man down, put his ass in the dirt. Oh, okay. I mean, listen. Even that dude over there can't call himself the grave digger. Real talk. Because when I was digging his plot, it wasn't nobody. He wasn't even come around to say, hey, man, I'm not going to give that nigga any love right now. I'm talking about damn Terrence. I'm talking about Bud, though. I'll say him for another day. We know he's a fraud anyway. They're going to be the same people that's up here talking about, I never said this, but this is the same dumbass nigga talking about Bud's the dumbest fighter in the sport because he doesn't use all his skill set. Don't get me to talking about this dude. Crawford hits too hard. Errol would try to box after getting hit. Hey, man, let Errol do what Errol does, man. Step, nigga. Step in the name of this beatdown, nigga. Step in the name of this ass whooping. For real. Shout out to Romeo. Shout out to the one and only Kales. You know what I'm saying? Kales. R. Kelly, goddammit. R. Kelly say step in the name of this ass whooping. For real. That's what's gonna be up. But man, hey, I've been on here like 3 hours. I appreciate y'all, man. Salute to everyone who tuned in. Real talk. It's always a pleasure. Understand that this retirement, the banner's already been made, put out there. I'm doing my due diligence. This is gonna be extremely, possibly the last fight for Spence. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to be tuned in for this fish fry. It's gonna taste delicious. You know what I'm saying? We waiting 13 days. We should do it again another time. Big shout out to the ones who showed up in attendance and support the channel, and also those of you who donated. I appreciate y'all, man. In the meantime, y'all hold it down. I'm out.